Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So it goes so, the remix.
DMB, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like them other dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so tough. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. And now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes are killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together. Take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. If you touch as a breeze at night, all I really want in my life. Oh yeah, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Hey, welcome. Let me make sure audio is good to go. Yes, audio is good. How on a day? How's everyone doing? Good? Wait, how come? Interesting. Can you guys hear the background music? It's weird. Interesting. Hold on one second. I think I have an idea of why. I can't hear myself. I gotta make sure I can hear myself. Let's see. Oh, it's actually working. Let me see here. Oh, okay, I see why. Do I see why? I don't know. Hold on one second. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Yes? You can hear me, right? What is going on here? Let me see. Let me just see. You can hear me loud and clear, huh? So what's going on with this thing? Let's see. One second. Interesting. Let me just check something. Welcome. Ping everyone into the room. Just ping everyone into the room. I'm gonna need to hear this. Let's see. Oh. Let me see what's going on here. I wonder what's going on. I need to be able to hear the sound. Hello. All right, let me just check one more thing, because we're reacting today, so the audio has to work right? Let me see. Okay, that one works. All right, I think we're gonna be fine then. The only thing I can't hear is the music. You guys can hear it, but I can't hear it for some weird reason. All right, let's just get to it. Today we are reacting. Welcome back. We're struggle streaming right off the bat. I don't know why, but we're here. How on a day? How's everybody doing? Good? Yes. All right, today we're gonna keep it very, very small. It's gonna be fun.
Join.
All right, that's what we're gonna be reacting today. Okay, we're gonna keep it very simple. How's everybody doing? Let me just go to the chat really quickly, and then we can talk. Let me see who is here. Chiye, my guy, not my guy, my G. How you doing, Chiye? Good to see you again. ABO says, what is the music? It's old school from moi, if that makes sense. Okay, it's my old music from a long time ago. Yes, that's music that I produced and performed. Good to see you though. What? You're good, Jesus. Let me just keep it moving. D Love, how now? How you doing? How you doing? Who else? Valerie's here. Good to see you, Valerie. Good to see you, Damsel. Good to see you. Awesome, awesome. So this is Men of Prestige. Welcome back to Men of Prestige. Welcome if you're brand new. Good to see you. Go ahead and hit the like button, share, ping everyone else to the room. The way you do that is you hit on the like button. Okay. Shout out to all the 11 people that already hit on the like button. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Go ahead, continue to hit on the like button. Today we will be reacting to a Daddy Freeze video. Shout out to Daddy Freeze for the awesome content. It's a gift that keeps giving, so there's a lot of stuff we can talk about in there, so we'll keep doing that. So we will be reacting to his video within the fair use guidelines. Fair use. Over here in the Prestige, we'll talk about relationships, we'll talk about self, social, power, emotional intelligence, seduction and attraction. Those are the angle we come from. Okay, particularly we want you to pay attention to your power. Okay, I want you to pay attention to your power in these issues that's befalling the Japa people, breakups everywhere, anyone that's connected to the Western world. It's not really different from the village. It's just that there's recorded data. Okay, don't let anybody deceive you that somehow because you Japa from the village, there was always issues there, but obviously in certain parts of the world it's easier to see the issues than the other parts of the world. Okay, if you haven't downloaded our book, make sure you go ahead and download the book for free, this one. Okay, you go to loveandprestige.com, you can download it from there. You can also book a coaching session. That coaching session in the next few days is going to disappear. Okay, if you whatever coaching session you see is going to disappear, so go ahead and check it out just in case you feel you need hands-on, customized, personalized solutions for your particular situation. That's what we're here for. It's not just me, it's myself and my wife, because it's very important that you receive the perspective from both sides, and from experience in particular, But yes, if you're not part of the notification gang, you can join us on WhatsApp for back-end stories, everything, ideas. You can join us using lolaanola.com/WhatsApp. If that doesn't work, you can simply send a WhatsApp message to this number. And I saw a message earlier, I forgot the name of the person, but shout out to those people that are talking back there. And any message you sent to me personally, I see them all. Thank you for the testimonials. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, again, hit that like button. Let's get to it. Let's have some fun. I just want to sit back, relax, wait till my water don't finish. My water don't finish, but let's get to it. There's a lot of conversation there. I see there's somebody on Facebook. Shout out to you if you're on Facebook. Hit that like button, share. We're trying to blow on Facebook, but the thing will agree, okay? But if you share for us, maybe it will help a little bit. I don't get time for it yet anyway. But thank you for being here. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you. And Twitter. So we're also live streaming on Twitter. We always did, by the way. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Okay. Now let's keep going. Let's get to it.
When the woman look at and say, even if she's not the work, if she say come out to you for the house now, they go the pam, you go the pam for child support. Government go the pam for domestic violence pay. Then the children, they go they pay the children, they support the children. So if you're a greedy woman, once you see all those pay where they come from your hand, you go even say you don't need the man anymore. Because after all, the money when you go they make from those things, from those lies, go even better, big past the one where when she did with her husband. So most of the things that.
All right, so what he's saying is that the government money, government cheese, the money that women make from it, once you start making that money, it's almost like she doesn't need you anymore. Is that what I heard? Is that how it works? How much money, ladies, how much money exactly is in this welfare thing? I know it's a lot. It sounds like it's a lot of money, right? It sounds like it's a lot of money, right? Is this the same conversation as the 6 figure? Are you making 6 figures from government cheese? I mean, what's going on here? Let me go back. We're only 30 seconds into it. Okay, let me hear it again.
So when the woman look at
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm hearing it for the first time. The second part of this one, I was watching live last night, but this was from 2 days ago. So I'm just listening together with you for the first time.
and say, even if she's not the work, if she say come out you for the house now, they go the pam, you go the pam for child support. Government go the pam for the
Okay, you're paying child support. Okay, I hear that part. You know, PG is not my strong point.
domestic violence pay. Then the children, they go they pay the children, they support the children. So if na greedy
So child support, you're paying children, you're paying. Okay.
woman, once you see all those pay where they come from the hand, you go even
Once the woman that's supposed to be in love with you, ideally, but she's no longer in love with you, granted. Once you see all of this money, wait till go happen again. Wait till go happen. Kilo shele no again.
say you no need the man anymore because
She
after
no
all
need the man
money wey
anymore.
go they make from those things, from those lies, go even better, big pass.
So the money you're making from child support, okay. So I'm guessing depends on how much money is coming from child support too. Like how many kids, depending on how many kids, and then when you had that together with, what is it? What's the other government money? Welfare, food stamps, all of that. You know, easy 6 figures, right? Okay.
The one
What's up, Ekene? Good to see you,
she
man.
dey with her husband. So most of the thing na greediness dey cause, and when woman is more greedy, she go come into your life, she go pretend say na very nice woman, you go try say love you, you go do this, but as soon as you don bring am come obodo oyibo or where you dey live, her behaviour go come out. And most of the time na their friends, some of them when they don start to dey work, they will now meet some female friends. Some of the friends wey they meet na the one go dey brainwash them. Most of
So the friends are also brainwashing people, Abi. The friends are also brainwashing people. Once they, again, keep in mind, there's no vacuum in any of these things. Basically, the point is that your wife fell out of love with you, fell in love with the child support money. There's no vacuum. There's always no vacuum. There's something is replacing something. There has to be some kind of void somewhere. Like greed is not just gonna fall out of the skies, right? Okay, so child support money, welfare money, food stamp. What did D-Love say? D-Love said maybe in the UK. I don't think we have any benefits like that in the USA. Ain't nobody giving you shingbai here. Really? People are getting welfare here, right? There's still some social stuff here, right? I'm asking though, I don't know. I know there's food stamps here, right? But the question is that if you're making 6 figure, are they giving you food stamps? Because the majority of these women they're talking about also are doing well. For example, Maureen that we talked about on Auntie B's show earlier, that person is not going to get food stamp. She's making way too much money, right? But anyway, Film Guy says, thank you, Ola. How much is this money in total? It's poor men that talk this way. I'm just saying, I'm asking questions. Educate me. 6 figure call, 4 figure in. Now, so 6 figures they enter. I don't know. Maybe maybe all of the rest of us should just stop working, because what's the point if all this kind of money is free? We can just start. You know, he's talking about some child care money. That's UK. Yeah, maybe it's in the UK. Let's keep going.
them they get say like all the single mother because for abroad they
Wait, before I continue, I did receive an update for a koala bear earlier. Let me read it to you. He said, I'm not going to give it name. I need them to continue to realize that their power is not in talking too much unless you're creating content. If you're not creating content, it's useless. But we're going to... Hold on 1 second. Sorry, hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Sorry about that. All right, so can you guys hear me? Let me know you can hear me. Let me just say.
and a single mother.
Okay, yeah. Let me see. This is what we're only. Let me tell you how many minutes we're into this. We're 58 seconds into this. Okay, 58 seconds into this. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about this. Let's see. All right. So sorry about that. So, welfare here is if you're not working and it's not much. It's not up to 6 figures, no. Because the way they are talking right now, it sounds like it's a lot of money. Because once you see it, you don't discard your husband. That's what I'm hearing. I promise you, gentlemen, I know you're in the background, but just be honest with me. Just tell me there's some things I don't know, okay? Because I just don't have the experience. I'm trying to relate, okay? Because I know you might have preconceived notions. Tell me, is it up to 6 figures? If it's not up to 6 figures, are we saying that this woman, they can't wait to get rid of their man so bad they are willing to settle for income less than 6 figure? There's a lot in that situation, because that also tells me a lot about the kind of woman you attracted. But let's continue. Welfare here is if you're not working and it's not much. No, just food stamps, and it's limited to women that own below a certain income. That's what would make sense to me, right? Like, if you're the whole idea, especially here in America, nothing is free, right? Nothing literally is free, including that food stamp and that social benefit. It will cost you a lot if you find yourself in a position you have to receive it. Catching up with that over time into a place, you're gonna have a hard time, right? AB says immigrants more benefits than citizens. The American dream is for immigrants. Really? That's an interesting one. Maybe that's why I don't know. When there's a reward, there will be a divorce. Okay, but doesn't that depend on how much reward we're talking about? Because again, we're very quick to say that these people are greedy. You know, I'm not. If it's less than $100,000 in a year for a woman to settle for that, get rid of her family and settle for that, there's a lot more there. I would like to know what else is going on. Like $900 to $1,200 food stamps monthly. That's a lot of food, though. That's a lot of money. Let's be honest. That's a lot of food, right? But also, I'm sure they don't give you the kind of food you would typically purchase for yourself if you had your own money. But some people may be willing to settle for less. But again, why? What happened in that marriage that they're so quick and willingly ready to settle for less? That's what I'm asking about. Anyway, let me continue the reading of the updates that I got from the Koala Bear earlier. Okay, he said, just before I unsubscribe, some feedback might help. Listen carefully, okay? I know, I got you. Just give me about 10 minutes, not 2. I got you, okay? You need to bring form and structure to your channel. If you wish to grow it, this is good advice. If you wish to grow it and have better engagement, agreed, you want to appeal to a certain demographic, women, okay? Women. And have better engagement. Right? This is probably a YouTuber. This person runs a YouTube channel. They're trying to help, right? Agreed, you want, okay, there are many channels that cater strictly to men, okay? While some take the balanced neutral path. But your mode of presentation is simply a long-winded, rambling, punctuated by over-repeated skit, gif, transition.
You are a mumu man.
Let's continue. Wait. It's a noisy monologue. Pick a topic. Give your background. Wait, not a Koala Bear asking me for background where we have data stats. What's the point of that? And have callers share their thoughts. And even I'm definitely going to be taking that advice today. We're going to have callers because somebody's already asking me for a link. And even if there's no room for callers, build logical talk rather than half-hearted attempts at psychological analysis. The ladies might not give you this feedback. Ladies, when I don't collect stray bullets, just like that, as they love your Derek Jackson Warner narratives, but it's really hard to follow your talk. Okay, how many words have I read so far? Because I don't let this kind of stuff go to waste. It becomes content, okay? How many words have I read so far? I'm long-winded it. I'm long-stroking it, just so you know. It's too long a monologue. Reduce those noisy video transitions. Reduce them. Hey!
Funky!
I said reduce that. It's too much. Let's see. Except your audience base is 20 years old. You have the potential to do a better job. This person cannot make up their mind, by the way. If you stop seeing yourself as an accomplished commentator, you've got a lot of elementary learning to do. Remember, I said just before I unsubscribe, this person wants to announce that they are unsubscribing. Okay. By the way, shout out to all of you that are chatting right now. That means you're subscribed. Shout out to every single one of you. I appreciate you. What should we do with this Prestige family? Tell me, what do we do with this? Let's be on. Let's tell me, what do we do with this? Okay. Before I continue. Okay. Can you don't hold me hostage right now? Let me drop the link right away. I'm going to drop the link, then I'll drop it a little bit later. Okay. What should we do with that feedback? What can we learn from it? Anything? I mean, I know we've created about 5 minutes worth of content from it. That's a good thing. Yes, you can call in. Of course, you can call in always. I just dropped the link. Not true. Immigrants are not getting more benefits than the citizens. Fake news. This goes back, this rumor, over 20 years by political parties. Exactly. That's what I would think, but I'm learning. This divorce is usually common among middle and upper earners. People with low income don't divorce in that rate due to less reward after the fact. Let me think that through. People with low income, they don't divorce. I'm trying to put that together. So, because again, the kind of benefits they're going to, first of all, they're the one that will qualify the most for this type of benefit. But in terms of alimony and child support, sounds like it's probably middle to upper earners, right? All right, so we're getting there. Let me see. Kudiratu, how now? How you doing? Kudiratu Tairu. I know some Tairu. In UK, you have to plead insanity, physical health, etc. to get social benefits of £520 a month. You have reduced rent due to benefit. Yes, they have that here too. They call that Section 8, right? And they call it rent assistant. Depends on, there's some things, right? Section 8 is definitely huge here. To benefit, you have reduced rent due to benefit, but it's poverty line. It's poverty line where you have zero left to live on. Film guy, should I show you any? I see your face. Abi, you want to turn the camera off? It's up to you. All right, good. All right, good. Let's do this. I'm gonna bring you up. I can hear you, film girl. How you doing? And then you're hanging out, right? Because we're still reacting to the videos.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay, all right. Good to see you, by the way.
Okay.
All right. Chenye said, I greet you again, my people. Now, don't they come, 37 people. Shout out to all of you. Funke does suffer. He said we cannot play Funke again. Don't be juju with that. Yeah.
Abba, you lie. Sabi lie.
Yeah, that's not gonna work, you know. Please play Bernard for him. Trust me, there's gonna be a lot of Bernard tonight. There's gonna be a lot of Bernard. You want me to come up? Feel free, you can anytime. But let's react to this. Let me keep going, and then we'll get to it. We're only going to spend 2 hours today, so we have to end this at 8 p.m. Let's keep going.
Now even they get level past normal people waiting for husband. So once you do women don't they mingle with those single mother, you go come brainwash them, give them the idea, say if you date single, you go they make better money pass your when you date with your husband. So that's the problem that has been going on for abroad. So like people will be cultural. If you're cultural, have that cultural mindset as an African man. My advice is say no even try to stay for Ibodo with woman. Just stay on your own as a guy man. If you get woman for Nigeria, they visit them every year or every 2 years, as the case may be. That one will save you a lot. Because if you don't get that issue, say woman can't take your child from you. come put you for that child support, like you say, that in the stress man, as I the stress man, the money where you go they pay, go even as you they work harder, the more you they work, the more you go they pay up. And not be only that, if you say the woman can't give AV on you, if you can't breach them, direct to police cell, they will arrest you. If they arrest you,
if you
don't
breach
get
the child support, right?
And if you get a criminal record, you go affect your working rights. If you they work, you not even they work. I don't even see one of my friends, the wife even give them allegation, say the man rape her. Now Nigerian man, they are from both of them. They're from, I think they're from the Yoruba part of Nigeria. The man bring the woman and come to this country.
Wow.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
There's a lot there. There's a lot there. Oh, there's a lot there. There are a lot of people going through what he's saying. It's just that I'm trying to listen out for the rest of the story. I don't think he's giving us much there. Hold on one second.
After they don't born 2-3 children, the woman can't raise up, say the man rape her. Their own wife.
All right, even that the priest like, wait, can you stop using that word?
That word, they code your word because of.
This is how you know that these people are not used to coming on YouTube. They just found something that aligns with what their thoughts are. They can't wait to start yelling blah 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 blah. But again, where's the rest of the story? There's a lot of people going through these issues, but where's the rest of the story? That's what we're missing today. Okay. Now, before I continue, Film Girl, I know you have some thoughts. Let me get some of your thoughts so far.
Hi Ola, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm fine. I swear this whole thing they just started is just a bit draining. I mean, I watch some of them under the freeze at times, and I'm like, when I listen to this men talk, I'm like, what the hell? Do you understand? I really don't get it. And you know, for me, I wrote down some points here so I don't forget, right?
Yeah.
They said with this, the first is, oh, don't marry abroad women, oh, they are bad. Now, the next is, don't marry and bring women from Nigeria, oh, they are bad. Now, they are saying, oh, go and marry Nigeria and keep, oh, like give them 5 years, they'll come back and go to the different story. If you marry and keep in Nigeria, they will sleep with your houseboy, they will sleep with your driver, because that's what is happening. Because what they don't realize now is that the women that they are marrying and keeping in Nigeria are not like their mothers. These girls of nowadays, they are not like the women of 1965.
Exactly.
They will cheat the hell out of.
Hey.
These girls are smart. They will not get pregnant for anybody, but they'll be sleeping with people constantly. They know what to do. They will go on contraceptives. They'll do whatever they can. They will not have, the babies will be yours, right? But on the side, they'll be doing things on the side well. Before they realize what is going on, it will not. They'll pull you now marry.
Yeah.
Marry her and keep her in Mars or what? They're not addressing the real problem. If you have a problem with Mr. A, you have a problem with Mr. B, you have a problem with Mr. C, then maybe you are the problem. Look inwards, like you say. Look inwards and find out because these same girls that you were saying they were good girls, you brought them over. After a while, you start having issues with them. Is it that they were not good before, or you had a judgment problem of knowing what was good? Maybe you were not really good girls. Do you understand? So now, these so-called good girls, because they're not doing what you want, automatically become, they are bad girls. It's now RN. It's not, and RN is this, RN is that, RN. I mean, because most of the women that came in earlier on, like, back in those days, that was most of the most common occupations they went into. That was the RN thing, right? I'm sure if most of our women went into IT and were making money, today they'll be saying, don't marry women that are in IT. Do you understand? It's
going to happen soon. It's already happening, by the way. It's going to happen very, very, very soon. So expect that. Expect more and more of that.
It's just ridiculous. And you have this rhetoric from the same kind of men over and over. I swear, these guys, most of them are low-income men. When you start hearing, look at this guy that is talking right now, the money abroad. How much is the money? Calculate everything. Why will I want, because I want to collect maybe a total of how much is the child support if they are giving $500? It's just said 500. Add 500. What is that money?
Well, there's going to be. I'm sure there's going to be more to that conversation. But continue. I'm hearing you.
I'm just thinking about the whole thing, right? Like, okay, if you were living in that house with those children, wouldn't you spend that same 500 on them? Wouldn't you not buy food for your children? Wouldn't you not buy them clothes? Wouldn't you not buy them toys? So why do you have a problem with giving the money to the mother of your children to spend on your children? What is the problem? And you know what I looked at this whole thing, Ola? The problem is not that the women are leaving them, right? Do you know the main problem? Ola, are you there? Okay. I think the main problem for me is like...
I can hear you. Go ahead. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. For me, the main issue for these men is not that the women are leaving them, right? That's not the issue. The issue is that they are touching their finances. That is what is affecting these men. This is what is driving them crazy. Because back home, when a woman leaves or they kick a woman out, their money is intact. So now they're looking at their counterparts in Nigeria that are, getting rid of their wives, or their wives are leaving them, and their money and their houses remain intact. So they feel it's unfair for them to be in the Western world, and they're taking their money or their houses or whatever it is. That is what is really, really hurting these men. It's not really the women that are leaving. I mean, they want to leave and they will replace you. There's no problem. You know that that African narrative that is just going on in their head. I really don't understand. This whole thing is not about the women leaving them. Really, I don't think so. It's because of the money. Because if these women will leave and leave their money alone, I don't think we'll be having all these discussions. I don't think so.
All right, great.
Ola.
Hold on, Ekene. I had Sheyi here first. Let's Sheyi go, and then I got you, Ekene.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Sheyi, now how you did? I thought you were gonna call in yesterday. I went through your comments yesterday.
No. I went to one of my side chicks. I have to be very active. Okay, so Mr. Man of Prestige.
Yes, sir.
I want you to pay attention to what a woman does and not what she says.
Right.
When a woman talks, blah 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 blah, 9 out of 10, they're very manipulative. Women have always been manipulative, including my mom, my late mom. And if you look at the storyline of the Bible, women have always been in the center of manipulation. They are very, very manipulative. Now, what am I saying this? A woman, if you give a power in quotes to a woman will use that power, will misappropriate the power. Most of these incidents is happening. It is not because the man cannot pay the money. The man will pay the money, but at the end of the day, will not see his kid. It's not about the money for the man. It's about the emotional connection to the child. Okay? Now, talking about manipulation. I will tell you today that I was married for 11 years. And in my 11 years of marriage, I stood with my wife. I never raised my hands on my wife. I'm a practical example. Till tomorrow, I'm still in tears. I never raised my hands on my wife in Nigeria or here. But what happened? Because she knows that she can call the police on me. We had a slight argument and she called the police on me. And I said, that's it. I'm done.
You were done.
And I left. Because you disrespect me, that's it. That's the only dignity I have in that marriage. Now, all this cock and bull story about money is not it. The Bible says you should submit to the man. The Bible says you should love. Okay? 11 years with somebody, loving you and just loving you. And one day you just wake up in the morning. It's the height of disrespect. The height of disrespect.
So Sheyi, so you woke up one day and somebody called the police on you, or there were more to that story? You don't have to share it.
There's more. It's a whole lot of stories, a whole lot of pack that I have to round out. Yeah. And I think day before yesterday, I still shared part of the story.
You did?
Well, I did.
Yeah.
Exactly. But how many men will stand with their wife, irrespective of? Some men, when I tell my stories to a man, they say, in 2 years they have left. But I stood. I stood because I believed in it. But when I walked out with my head. My conscience was very clear. And this thing when we were in Nigeria, we had arguments. We were able to resolve arguments. There was no police. But as soon as we got to Canada, my brother, when she knew that and that's why I told you, women are are
Manipulative? Okay.
Very, very manipulative.
All right. Hang in there, Shay. Let me hear from Ekene. Ekene, go ahead.
Koala, I gotta say something to you, okay?
Yeah, make sure your volume is clear. It sounds a little muffled. You're in the car, I guess.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Can you all hear him?
Yes, I can hear him.
Okay, go ahead, Ekene.
You see what the other lady just said?
Mm-hmm.
Is the height of, I would say, biasness. In fact, what the other guy just said right now is were part of the things that I was going to say, but he nailed it. Women are very, very manipulative. Yes, he's right, even including my mother. I remember when my dad and my mom, husband and wife, they do have their issues. But looking back to see how my mother manipulated the situation to push my dad to the edge, and my dad not reacting, is one of the reasons why I respect my father up to today. Not only that, I have a friend of mine that died 3 years ago of cancer. 16 years ago, the daughter, she was doing something that was very premature. I cautioned her about that thing because I'm the son of my father.
Mm-hmm.
I cautioned her. This girl told me, "I hate you. You always act like my dad." I'm like, I'm just trying to keep you away from trouble. Do you know? 15 years later, when her dad died, right? This girl opened up to me and told me how manipulative the mom was to the dad throughout the years. If you don't experience, you don't know. I have a friend of mine that his own wife called me. You know what she told me? Mm-hmm. She said to me that my friend pissed her off and she looked at him and slapped him 3 times. This is a woman that is 4 foot and 11 tall, slapping a man 6 foot tall. 3 times. And she had the gut to call me and tell me what she did to my friend. You know what I said to her? I said to her, if you dare touch Sonny again in your life, mm-hmm. I will be the one to call police to arrest you and put you in jail, and I will be in that court to testify against you. That was the last time she ever put her hands on her husband. In fact, I would tell you this, right? When I was 14 years old, the first person that ever slapped me in my adult age was my cousin sister. And turned around and made
Is she older? Is she older or
She's
younger?
older. She's
okay.
about 3 years older than me. When I came to this America, I was just playing Ludo. You know how you play Ludo with your friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were playing Ludo and I was doing good. This guy got mad and slapped me on my chest.
Mm-hmm. Let
me tell you something, Ola. You gotta understand that women are very, very violent and manipulative, especially overseas. I've witnessed friends of mine see their wife do something to them that even I went home, I cried. And I knew that shit will never happen to me because I would kill her that day. I'm sorry. I've seen my wife come home, cried over what her sister-in-law does to her brother.
Okay. All right. Hold on right there.
There are many stories out there. Please, this is a very sensitive issue.
Don't forget. No, it is. And we're going to have the conversation, okay? And we will continue to have that conversation, right? Today's topic is about Japa divorce reactions, okay? And the first point that seems like is taking over right now is that women are manipulative. And I have Film Girl here. I also have Angela here. Let me go with Angela first. Let me hear your take on Angela. Are you there? Can you unmute? Angela, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey, Angela, how are you? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. You're in the abroad, right?
No. Actually, I was in the abroad, but I'm in Nigeria.
You're in Nigeria? Okay, go ahead. Let me hear your take on this.
Yeah, thank you. Well, concerning this, what they call it, Japa marriage or whatever they call it, I feel like actually the previous caller that was talking, to be honest, his story does not add up. I'm sorry, it is all a made-up story. I don't know if it's a made-up story, but I can't conclude yet. There are some things he was said. I know for the fact as an African lady that I'm not saying there is no African ladies that are abusive to their husband. Yes, there are, but it's
Manipulative
very
too, right?
few. Yeah, but it is few when it comes to African men being manipulative and abusive to their women. I know for the fact, I can't speak on other Africans from other countries, but I know for the fact that a typical Nigerian man will not accept his wife slapping him or beating him like that without doing anything or stuff like that. Like it's not. I'm not saying.
Well, it depends. Are you still there? I have seen situations. Are you there,
The way
Angela?
he narrated the story.
Angela, you did, yeah? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but continue. But it depends. There are women who beat their husbands, just so you know, and the
Yeah.
husband.
No,
Aha.
I'm not saying that there aren't.
Okay.
There are women that beat their husband. Sure, fact. But I'm talking in case of Nigerian women versus Nigerian men.
Gotcha.
There are a little percentage of Nigerian women that abuse their husband. Let's be clear about this. I'm not saying there.
Uh-oh. Looks like her network. Can everybody
Women
else hear?
versus
Sorry.
Nigerian women abuse their men.
All right. Yeah, just make sure you stay with your signal because it was going in and out. Before you go, Shay.
I just wanted to, 30 seconds. I wanted to
Okay.
react. 30, because
Go
I
ahead.
see a lot of people, coming at me that I went to do side chicks and okay. So first off, that's my personal life.
Side chick. No, we're not talking about side chick. We gotta stay focused on the topic.
No, I see people saying I went to.
There are 47 of them. You can't control that narrative. Just leave them alone.
Yeah. So whether my story is wrong or correct, it is for me. It's my story.
No, don't worry. Let's just have the conversation, right? Let's just have the conversation. Let me go to Film Girl before I come back to you. Film Girl, I know you have some things on your mind right now. Go ahead.
I've heard what they said, right? And then sometimes it's very easy for people to, when you have a speck or something in your eye, it's very difficult for you to see. Like you want to see everything the other person does, but you cannot see what is wrong with yourself, right? Let's go to manipulation. At least I'm a Nigerian woman. I grew up in Nigeria. I've watched our men manipulate situations with their wives. Because men are not vocal, right? They know how to. They know what their wives that would tune them or that would trigger them, and then the woman now starts talking, and then when people now come, they say, "I didn't do anything to her. I didn't do anything to her." But you did a lot. You did so much in the background without even you don't have to be vocal or anything for you to like trigger somebody if you know somebody's trigger points, right?
Yeah.
And
you can be silent and still be manipulative.
Yeah.
You can be passive aggressive.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many ways you can do that silently. Yeah. Go ahead.
And it brings me to my second point. If they claim not to be manipulative, then why are they coming up with such a very toxic or let me use the word, a very manipulative narrative about Nigerian women abroad? Because they're the ones that said all of these things. Nigerian women this, Nigerian women this. A few men that were hot about something, right, took their pain and twisted the narrative, and they have been spreading this narrative down even back to Nigeria, right? They have been telling their families terrible things about their wives. They have been trying to, because I've seen from experience, I've seen even family members experience, when a man is tired of a relationship, I don't know whether that could have responded, I can back home, when they're tired of relationship and they want to leave their wives, they're not bold to say, "Hey, I'm tired," or "I want to leave my wife." They will try and look for things to say.
Well, men generally, from statistics, they don't leave their marriage. They might participate in other extramarital behavior, but they won't leave. We know that from stats. But it doesn't mean the marriage is good. I think that's the point you're making, right?
My point is that when they want to, when people question that marriage or question what's going on, they will try and make the woman look bad in any way possible. If it means even cooking up stories, and I've seen it real life, cooking up stories that never existed, oh, she runs outside, oh, she's not clean, or all sorts of things. They'll come all sorts of stories, right?
Right.
So we have actually known them as a precedent of them being manipulative, even in their marriages back home. And the narrative they are spreading right now, right? And there is actually manipulation in itself, because they're just telling things from one point of view. They're not saying the things that they are doing wrong, right? But who cares? Because in our African socialization, men are always right? Women are not being used to. The women don't have voice, but now that women are beginning to speak, or they want to silence us as before, like shut up, that kind of thing. They're like, dare you speak up? It's a case of how dare you speak up right now. But women are saying to you guys, hey, these things I've been doing for many years. You did it to my mom, my aunties. I don't think it's cool anymore, right? Now we are not the ones that are being manipulated. I'm not saying they're not manipulative people, men and women, but I'm just saying that as a gender, right? They are spinning a narrative that is not so true. They're telling just one side of the story. And they're telling it all the way to people that are not so educated about the Western world. And those people back home are swallowing this thing with, like, they're swallowing the whole narrative without even questioning, could this be true or not? Do you understand it?
Yeah. Let me go to Shay.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have a few things to talk about. Number one, when I spoke about manipulation had existed from the Bible days, right? From Jezebel, from the mother of Esau, when
from the apple, from Eve.
From Eve.
Is that what you're talking about? Just the fact that just that women can be the cause of the downfall of men. Okay.
Yes, they are masters of the game, so they know how to play the game very well, more than men. I'm not saying men are not manipulative; they are manipulative. Now, the next point I want to make is the point of indoctrination. There's what you call indoctrination. Indoctrination is when a woman is in Nigeria and it comes to America, the circle of friends she follow. Oh, you mean your husband didn't cook? Oh, you mean your husband didn't clean? Oh, your husband is doing this, your husband is doing that. Then there's manipulation, and there's even manipulation around the so-called Western women to the newcomers, to the immigrants. And then that evolves, and then that's where you start seeing me.
So Shay, let me ask you, how do we solve that problem? Let's assume that I agree with you that this is a problem. When you start following friends, you come to Yankee, you come to the Jans, right? You come to the abroad and you start following friends. You as a husband, if you got presented with that situation, right?
Yeah.
How would you solve that problem?
It's very difficult, because I could remember when I was married. I'm no longer married. I try as much as possible to come around my wife there, but I discovered that it's still the same. You are controlling me. In fact, we had a slight act. So I had to speak to a counselor, and the person said, "Leave her alone, let her be." So, but if we were at
wait, they said leave her alone, let her be. They didn't give you the reason. They didn't explain why you'll be doing that.
Well, they gave me the reason, because that she might become very aggressive, and that
might get worse.
They might get worse. So I left her alone. I gave her freedom, as it were. They like to be independent. They are modern women. So my advice is that we need to embrace, one, the Bible, or we should embrace our religious belief. Two, we should embrace our culture, not the culture of toxicity, but the culture of how it was. We need to go back to the drawing board and see how we can, live by the principles of the Word of God, the principles of the Bible, the principles of Quran, the principles of our tradition, and hold on to that which is good about it, which is very, very important. This thing of Nigeria and Japa is not only amongst Nigerians, it's also among the Black American society. 2 years down the line, there's divorce. 5 years down the line, there's divorce. You understand? And that's one of the reasons you have high crime rates. Because the absence of fatherhood in the family is absent. And that's why you have high crime rates in America, in Canada, in the UK. In the UK, it's even worse. They have gangs. So we need to bring back the old...
Do you know a society in the world that doesn't have gang and crime? Do you know one?
I don't know of one, but if I could point it.
So do you know which one
I
has
know
the
it's
lowest? Do you know the one that has the lowest?
Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and all of those places.
They have the lowest?
Yeah, I should believe so. I can look it up.
Okay.
Maybe sometimes, and I'll.
Yeah, let's look that up, and then I know that there's crime here, like anywhere else in the world. I know there are multiple variables or factors that will create. I know one of them will be fatherless homes, absolutely, but there are multiple different other variables, right? But go ahead.
Absolutely, I agree. So I also want to believe that it is important for us to set roles in the family. You see, when the lines become blurry, then you have problem. When you don't define the line, who is to lead at home, then there's problem. And if you don't decide to be led, and you say, no, I'm this, I'm that, I have right, I have left, I have this thing. That is, for me, it is very unnecessary. You need to be led. I said, there was a time I was asking a woman, I said, have you seen where two people are handling the steering while they are driving? It's not possible. You can have two drivers in a car. Neither can you have two captains in a ship. But that is what the West is projecting. That, we are partners. No, somebody must lead. And allow the man to lead. Do not bring the man down by threatening him at every little decision he makes, or if there's an argument at home. You must solve problems without involving the authorities. That is the centrality of love.
So, from a personal experience, I'll tell you this, right? I gotta let Kenneth go, then we'll circle back around, right? I'll tell you this from personal experiences. When we start making gesture, even the way you're talking right now, right? When we start making gesture and we find ourselves in a crisis with our woman, the way we process that as men in our head is not the way women process it. As far as that woman is concerned, she's actually potentially afraid of her life in that she doesn't know what next move you're going to make once the hand is moving like that and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So that creates a distinct difference between how we see it and how they see it, especially if they have the options of calling the police. That's something to keep at the back of your mind, right? Our fathers, if you go back then, I remember my father, shout out to my father, right? I'm going to bring him here as a guest one day. He's around. He will grab his key and just leave. Our fathers used to do that. I think the modern men don't know how to do that.
I used to do that a lot.
I think the modern man would have created damages before he left. Like he would have run his mouth first, right? Our fathers don't even have the bandwidth for a lot of the age.
Real men don't argue. I don't argue at that time. The only reason why I'm arguing, I normally argue then with my wife, was I used to be very passionate about things. If it's my being agitated is because of a passion, and maybe I've seen something that is going to go wrong. I'll tell her this is going to backfire out. This is going to backfire. She won't listen to me. Boom! It several times. It just happened. Boom! And I just at the time I became tired. I started keeping quiet because I it's like me talking to a wall. And that's how it looked like. Yeah,
the becoming quiet thing is a really tricky and delicate thing, and it's an art. It's more of an art than it's a science, than it's an exact science, right? So it's not always that you keep quiet. It's not in every situation that you keep quiet. It's not in every situation that you talk. You have to let things go boom first sometimes, right? That's one of the reasons why a lot of these conversations will not get anywhere, is because we don't have specific examples, which is why what I'll do is I want us to continue to have this conversation. I will have my other sessions where I can really drill in and say, this is how you do this. These are the specifics, right? And we'll continue to talk about that. Hold on one second. Let me go to, I think it's Ekene. Ekene, you still there?
Yep.
What are your thoughts so far, Ekene? What are your thoughts so far?
Let me put it this way, right? I've always told people that the remedy of being in marriage is to have the opportunity, to have the, I would say the leverage of divorcing.
The what?
Divorcing, it's always good to have the leverage to divorce.
The leverage to divorce, okay.
It's always good to have that leverage as a man. And also as a woman. Because what happened is this: if you look at the olden days, like in our culture didn't outlaw divorce. In fact, they always have it as an option. It's Christianity that came and then said that divorce was not a good thing. Actually, our ancestors put it up there that when you can't fix your marriage, when it's broken down, you should just go. And that is why there was no violence those days in marriages, because people always had that option of leaving.
They could leave, right? Without documenting
Yes.
it, so we didn't have the stats of what the divorce rate was, right?
Oh no, it was high. It was very high.
All right, good.
I'm sorry. It was very high.
Good.
In fact, most of the men married 4 or 5 times and divorced 2, 3 wives in the process. You see what I'm saying? It was actually almost 70%, because the men understand that it's always difficult to keep a woman.
So the men understood that at that time.
The men in our ancestors knew those things. They knew that it was difficult to make a woman to understand the program. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta understand, you gotta see it this way. There is a reason why the first and second wife always stay longer in a marriage, because they knew you from your youth. But the 4th, 5th, and 6th wives always come and go, because they
hold on, Ekene. We're missing 20 likes. Please go ahead and hit the like button. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Ekene. Thank you.
Yeah, so divorce, as I'm trying to tell Sheyi, divorce is not a bad thing. If your wife cannot live under your command, do the things that you want her to do in order for your family to prosper.
I stepped out. I just, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah. You did the best thing. You should always exercise that in any relationship or marriage you are.
Absolutely.
Always exercise the option to leave, because I got to tell you, you better leave and move on with another woman than to be in jail or 6 foot.
Exactly. For my mental health.
For your mental health, do not waste your time with somebody that don't want to listen, or somebody that don't want to hear anything. She has a life of her own. Let her live it. I have come of age that I've come to understand that I will never waste my time to keep a woman 1 minute in my house.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't even waste your time, even if she's a girlfriend or a wife.
Here's my question now. When you do that, because again, the best position, I agree with you, the best position for negotiation is to be willing to leave and mean it. You have to mean it. You actually have to leave also mentally in every respect, right? Do we mean it when we leave? Because again, we have more and more men coming on after they leave, which is now obviously eventually we see the numbers. Do we mean it, or we end up, we never really get to the point of healing where we can say, you know what, when I left, it wasn't necessarily our fault. It's the fault of Eve. It's not necessarily our fault.
Put it this way.
What are we struggling with here? Because I see some confusion here. Did we mean it when we leave, or we're still hurt? And does it hurt? It hurts. Are we able to move on?
Look at it this way. When you are with a woman for the first 6 months and you find fault, you can easily leave. If you don't leave that moment and then you tolerate that, and then 1 year, now the longer you stay with her, the difficult it is to leave. And when you leave, it's hard to move on, because you've spent so many years.
Why is it difficult to leave? This is the question I would ask women a few months ago, but now I'm asking men. Why is it so difficult to leave a situation that's not serving you?
The reason why it's difficult to leave is that it's hard to quit a project that you put so much investment into. It's in business the same thing. If you don't abandon your business the first 6 months, the first 1 year, the harder it becomes to leave that business, because men have the mentality of investment. Men have that mentality of not quitting when they've invested. It's so hard to separate from your investment. So men see relationship the same way they see business.
Okay,
you see what
let's
I'm
do this. We have more people in the studio. Okay, I'll circle back around. Let me go to Chinye. Chinye, how now? You remember me today, Abi?
Good evening. Good evening, all. Good evening, all.
Good evening. Your thoughts?
Okay, so a lot has been said. So one thing that I would like to touch on real quick. Shay did mention something about leadership and partnership, and I think in the comment section I did mention, I said leadership and partnership can exist, and this is how I would like to present it. Me, I personally believe in the man being the leader of the home, right? But being a leader of a home is not the same as being a ruler. Being a leader of your home is setting examples, setting the path. And then how can a leader, the question would be, how can a leader also be in partnership with his wife? It's because there has to be cohesiveness, there have to be agreement, there have to be discussions, because um when you have a leadership, they're also like, I'll use an example, be it in a president, for example, have their advisors in the top, because he cannot know everything, right?
Yeah.
There's certain things that,
So,
there's
sorry,
certain things.
Chie. Even
Different from Bala Blue.
it's gonna need a lot of advisors, right?
Oh, I couldn't hear you. Ooh, you said evil something. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. You said evil something.
Even Bala Blue, they saw it. You probably didn't see it because you're on the phone. Even Bala Blue, right? We need advisors. Continue,
No, so
Jerry.
what I'm saying is that, in all honesty, the reason why partnership and leadership can coexist is, let's say a situation comes up in a family, whether the man brings it up, say, hey, going on here, you know, how do we go about this? The woman might have some ideas that she can bring to the table. They can talk about it. The man can also have his idea of the direction that he wants to take things. And after, when they talk, as the leader, the man would assess his own thoughts and what the woman's thoughts, and then based on that, he can pick the best thing, right? That's still you being a leader and your wife being a partner with you. Then there are situations whereby, this topic might be the wife's weak, part. She might not really know much about that. And if the man knows more about that, the man will drive that. And then there's other situations whereby the woman would know more about that certain aspect, and they'll talk about it. And then the man will be like, okay, we should go by this. So that's what I mean by there could be leadership and partnership. Now,
Right.
what I'm trying to talk about is when there is power struggle, right? If there's a power struggle, maybe that's where it's like, oh, you can be. How can they be two partners? And then the analogy he uses, two drivers cannot drive a car. I mean, there are situations like, in a plane, there's the main pilot and the co-pilot. The main pilot is still the leader, the main order. The co-pilot
It's the captain.
The captain is the captain of that plane. But the co-pilot, they are partnering together to fly that plane, right? So I do believe in having a leader in my home. Like women, we like naturally the way we're built. We like our men to take leadership. Times when we do step up is when maybe he's falling our hand, and then we tend to step up. Then there's the women are doing that power struggle thing, which shouldn't be. We should all come together, have an understanding of one another. What we're doing, and then we run the family together. Because, like I said, nobody can know everything. There are things that will hit both the husband and wife.
Sorry,
Hold on,
let her finish. Let her finish.
hold on, sir. There are things that will come up, right? And that will hit the husband and wife, and both of them will be like, yo, we don't know what to do here. They'll have to, sit and try to figure it out and keep going. And another thing that there's something that Ekene said. He said, oh, my command. It's not a command and rule thing. Like when you say command, it's like, is it not a full adult that you're dealing with? So the word command shouldn't be, I don't think that should be a word used in a marriage.
That
Right?
is why I said men shouldn't be in a relationship with women that cannot respect what the man puts in
Both the
program. You see
man
what
and
I'm saying?
women, both the man and woman should respect one another. The man respect the woman, absolutely 100% respect the man, and the man also respect the
And
woman.
if we guys can't respect each other, just move away. That's it.
Right.
If you're waiting for a
but
man to
sometimes
respect you, just move, leave, just leave.
no,
That's why I tell
no.
men, let a
It's not
woman
about
go,
waiting
let a
for a
woman
man.
go.
If a man cannot respect a
One
woman, then that
mic
marriage
to
cannot work.
Chinye. One mic to
It should be
Chinye.
both both part. That's one thing about our African men. Some of them do not understand what respect means. Respect is reciprocal, and they want respect so bad. Someone like me, like love. There should be love and respect in a marriage from both parties. The woman respect her husband, and the man respect the woman. Because if the man respect the woman, there are certain things that the man will not do to the woman because he has respect for her, and there are certain things that the woman will not do because the woman. It is reciprocal. I don't understand. Oh, if the woman no, then they shouldn't be doing anything together. If the respect
That's
is not
exactly what I
mutual.
said.
Hold on one second.
No,
Hold on one
that's not
second.
exactly what you said.
Hold
Just
on one
saying
second.
that
I want to go
it's
to. I want
only
to go
one-sided.
to. Chie, hang in there, right? I want to go to Natu really quickly, but before I go to Natu, the ladies are having problem with the word command. Ekene, once, give me 30 seconds. The ladies have problem with the word command. Why do you think that is?
They have problem with the word command because they don't want to live under the rule of anybody. See how she came and said that, oh, the rule, the rule, the rule. A man says the rule
Ruler.
because
It's not
a
a
man is the
ruler.
ruler.
She
The
said
man,
ruler.
okay, she can take whatever she want to take. A man is the leader, the ruler of the house. There is no
No,
So
leader
partnership.
is not
I'm
ruler.
guessing.
There
So
is
That's
wait,
no
different.
partnership in relationship.
wait,
There
wait.
is
So
no
There's no
partnership.
one mic. So I'm guessing, Ekene, that you don't see the difference between a ruler and a democrat and a democratic leader. You don't see a difference.
A democratic leader is a ruler. So everybody want to
No, it's not a
put
ruler.
a
It's not a ruler. On paper, even on paper, it's not a ruler.
because if it's a ruler, then the Congress will have to go.
a ruler. No, that is autocracy. It's not dissenting rules. The ruler.
Rulership is
People are not.
All right, let's do this.
People are
Let's do
trying
this. Let's do this.
people are
Let's do
trying to
this.
make ruler.
Allow me to mod, please. Let me go to
Okay,
Natu really quickly, and then I'll come back to Shay. Natu.
Hey, what's up? 1 second, let me disconnect my Bluetooth because you all complain.
Yes, I will complain.
Can I say something? And
but Abio, how you doing now? Let me go to you, then she will have
yes.
yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm enjoying this conversation, and I will leave the studio in 2 minutes. The reason why I jumped into the studio because you guys were actually getting the main cocoa of the matter, which there was something you said. I think Ekene identified something, even though I don't even agree with Ekene's point. But out of the abundance of the heart, you can speak something that makes a lot of sense. So Ekene spoke something or said something that made a lot of sense, and you were trying to correct that thing
I said.
out.
I think I said why. What did I say? Oh, I don't forget, Seth. But something to the effect of why I forgot. I think it was manipulation.
So I really would have loved us to talk deeply on that aspect, because we're just going round and round, and we all agree that divorce is not a bad thing.
It's an option. It's a viable option, right?
And the truth of the matter is
that, I remember now that if we're leaving. It looks like the men are leaving, but they don't mean it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they are
Thank
angry.
you.
They seem angry.
Not just the men. Let's leave it open.
No, it's always been women. It's always been women up to 6 months ago. But I'm hearing more men doing it.
More men now. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So the point I'm going to pick up from there is this. So what am I trying to say here? Whether we like it or not, it's like what Auntie B said today, what we all as human beings begin to understand, even in Christianity, even in any religion. This life is too sweet for anybody not to take control of their own decisions. Do you understand? So people will definitely leave marriage even for no reason at all. Safe. Do you understand? So men must begin to accept that if a woman says she's not marrying again, it doesn't really mean you have fault.
Are we struggling with letting go?
Letting go. And women should also understand that men, we also come out one day and say, I don't marry anymore. Not as if you have fault. Now, what am I trying to say here? The whole problem we are facing today is people looking for validation. Anytime there is a divorce between us Nigerians, I have noticed that one party, if not both parties, would go behind and look for something to revalidate their abilities in that marriage.
Exactly.
See, let me tell you, a white man will tell you that, listen, man, my wife just woke up one day.
And it's over. It's a wrap.
You know, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know what I'm trying to say? She just woke up one day and felt that, well, she don't want to be with me for whatever reason best known to her. You know, they won't take it personal. A Nigerian person will say, oh, I don't do this for her. Let me bring her from Nigeria. Let me do this. Listen, if you like, go and bring 100 women from Nigeria today. Or you even marry a year. A woman can see, don't you buy a shirt and you don't like it anymore? No, think about it now. Don't you buy a car and you don't like the car anymore naturally? Not because the car failed you. Not because.
Babio, sorry, I'm offending you, but here's the thing, right?
Okay.
And I want you to continue before we go to the next person. The issue now is seeming like it was never a wrap. We didn't get over it.
Yeah.
And if we have to, and it's okay to say, hey, something happened back there, and I'm still hurt. There's pain. Right. There are issues. We need to assess those things. But the problem is that there are confusion. We're saying from both two sides of our mouth that, to hell with that. But yet, we're coming out here and saying, hey, these people are evil. We're saying it's all of them, which means we still have to deal with them.
Again.
Right?
Yes.
And so I'm looking for a path to solution, and it just seems like it's confusion everywhere.
It's confusion everywhere. So that is why I'm saying that until we start to realize or accept it, that even for the slightest thing, somebody might not be feeling happy sharing their space with another person again. It is just the truth. It is naturally, though we are not trying to say it's justifiable, but that is what it is. It's a free world. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You know, it's a free world. That is why you would see or hear the American president come out today and say, oh, maybe when they are leaving office, they'll say, well, I'm retiring or whatever. This is my last day in office. Hopefully, my wife don't wake up to one day and retire me. You know what I'm trying to tell you? So we look for this validation. We always think that, oh, once there is a breakup, what caused breakup? People want to know as if there must be an issue. So sometimes there might not really be an issue. So when you talk about the Nigeria and in the civil world, here is the difference. There are a lot of people in marriages, so-called marriages in Nigeria, that if they have that freedom or to choose, they won't be with their husband tomorrow morning.
Yes, there was the issue with the value they're getting in that system in the first place. Something was wrong. It's not necessarily our fault, gentlemen. It's not necessarily our fault, but the truth is that something could not withstand the storm of coming to the abroad, to the Japa.
Right.
Something cannot withstand it. They were patching. They were probably one day going to commit paternity fraud. Not all people do that. It's still less than 30%.
Of course, yes.
Or one day cheat on you around the corner. Or you're already cheating, because everybody has normalized cheating in Nigeria as the normal thing to do, right? But the issue is that marriage did not have a strong core in the first place. Right. And when you find yourself in a position where you have options, even in Yankee, children have options. They can file for us, what they call it, and say they don't want to be with you.
They have options.
Emancipation, right? So, but I'll be on hangout now, so we can circle around to everybody.
You know.
Sorry. Let me
so that's just my point.
Hold on 1 second, but Abi, hold on 1 second. Here's what we're going to do, right? Because I have quite a few people in the studio, right? Who was the young lady that was trying to speak just now?
It's me. I was trying to add to what Brother Bio said.
Film girl. Okay, film girl. Hold on, film girl. I want to get film girl. I want to get Shay, and then I want to circle around to get some last words, and then some new people are in the studio. Okay. Let's go, film girl. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Everybody has spoken. My original submissions were just in reaction to what was on the screen, right?
Right, correct. Exactly. It was to Daddy Freeze.
It's not my general view, because for me, I want to react to what Bio said. But I want to say something first. For me, I don't believe in all this calling police. I tell my friends that are African Americans, why do you guys call the police too much? I feel it's not necessary in most cases when they call the police. I don't support all that excessive calling of police, right? And for me, I want us to come to a place whereby we come to a negotiation table. We're not competing with each other. It's not man against woman. Let us talk. What is it that that's
Absolutely.
friction amongst ourselves? Let us discuss. That's what I want to hear. Not all this accusing finger. You do, I did, you did. It's too much. And this my brother Bio said is very true. I'm going to put my own personal story out there, right? I was with this guy in Nigeria. I got married to this guy, and well, I shouldn't have. I take responsibility for making a bad decision. I shouldn't have. But when I realized that our values don't align, our thoughts don't align, nothing align, I called this guy. I said, "Guy, this is no go work. Oh. Let us end this thing." Do you know what he told me, Ola?
Yeah.
He said, "What will I tell the village people is the reason that we broke up?" I said, "Tell them that we are not compatible." He said, "No, village people will not understand that. Somebody must be at fault." That is what a grown man told me. Somebody must be at. It's a 47-year-old man. Someone must be at fault. I dragged this thing with drag. I thought, but nobody's at fault. We are not just compatible. We don't think alike. Our values are different. We don't see things the same way. It's going to cause problems in the future. I don't think. Listen, and I'm an able girl. I know what it means for you to step out of your husband. I knew the repercussions, but I was ready to take it because I didn't want to live a life of pain. I didn't want to live a life of being sad because I looked at it because my mom called us or pastors to talk to me. And this particular pastor, the guy kept on telling me stories about, oh, this woman, she prayed for her husband, and the husband changed. She prayed for her husband. After the whole thing, I said to myself, oh God, I beg no vex. Of all these women that you have talked about, the least I've heard is 15 years. Someone will pray for 15 years or 25 years or 30 years for a man to change.
That's our whole lifetime. Jesus Christ.
And I said to him, and I said to him, what will happen to me in that process of praying for him? If I become bitter, if I end up pain, what will happen to me? I don't need all this stress. Both of us are not compatible. Let's just go our separate ways. Do you know this guy dragged to a point I now got tired. I said to him, you know what? Go and tell them it's my fault. And Mr. Ola, if you see the stories this man cooked up. When I said I have first-hand experience, when they were telling me things I said, I was opening my mouth like, what did that one even happen? He cooked up so much stories to justify why he was a good person and I was a bad person. But you know what? I never went back to counter those. People can think whatever they want. I was so happy to run for my life. Do you understand? Because I knew that our life would be a life of pain. That's the thing. Our people don't want to. We can't accept that there's something wrong with us. Because he's thinking to himself, why would this one want to?
It's very hard. It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. It's the most difficult thing to do, but it's precisely what we need to do.
Exactly.
That's what we need to do.
Because I could see it in his eyes. I could see it in his head. He couldn't comprehend. Why do you want to leave me? I mean, I'm someone that girls run after. They run after. I don't want now. They are your choice. You're not my choice. So because we have a problem with accepting our faults, accepting our mistakes, accepting that.
Listen, rejection is painful. Rejection is painful. It breeds obsession. I get it. I get it.
Miss Ola, I get it because even me, I tell people as a person, like, everybody's not. Some guys come to me and I reject them. Why can't men reject me too? It's possible. I'm not everybody's spec. You're not everybody. Nobody's everybody's spec. You understand? If
yes.
I meet you and I talk to you and I flow with you and it's not working. It's not working. There's no point. Free me. Make I free you too. But they want to justify it. Oh, she's bad. She's bad. She's bad. I don't know, Sha. I don't know because, like you said, women get tired after a period of time. Like Auntie will say, women love marriage, right? The traditional African man loves marriage. Nigerian man loves marriage.
Until
the point whereby she's tired, then there's something that's been going on in the background for too long. You know, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Film Girl. Let me go to Sheyi. Sheyi, I know you wanted to say something. Sheyi, are you there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. First and foremost,
Sheyi, first of all, go to you're open to having conversations like this. Once we're done, go to my community page, my about page, link me up, DM me on Instagram. Let's set up a time where it's just going to be you and I for 2 hours and we'll debate back and forth and have some understanding around some of this stuff. I just want to encourage you to do that, okay? But go ahead, continue.
Okay, so first off, marriage in America is more like a business venture. It's not real what marriage is supposed to be. And if you recall yesterday, I told you that marriage in America, American marriages is not supportive. I mean, the
Of
American
family
system-
values.
Family values.
Right.
Right. And you can see that the end result and why a lot of men are going their way and you haven't read pill is for one reason. I think one of the speakers spoke where he said an American woman will just wake up one morning and say he's not doing again. Now, I'm going to ask 2 questions here. If you buy a car, maybe you buy a Lexus or maybe a Benz, and I say on this Lexus that you are going to buy, this car, there's a 50% chance this guy is going to pack up. Mr. Man of Prestige, would you buy it?
Just call me Ola.
Mr. Ola?
Can I answer that question?
Go ahead, Bio. Go for it.
Thank you very much. That was a good analogy, and I want us to stay on that. When nobody buys something expecting that thing will last forever, because obviously you know that you cannot use that car until the car comes to an end. One day surely it must come to an end. So you cannot go to marriage and think that one day one party cannot wake up. It's the mindset of going to that marriage that matters.
Yeah, okay, so sir, you asked
Yes.
Invariably, there's no guarantee that if I get married now again, that along the line there will be no woman.
Yes, now. Is there any marriage with guarantee? There's no guarantee.
Thank you very much.
No, forget that. Okay, hold on 1 second. In life, gentlemen, there's no guarantee. Never ever.
Guarantee. You can't guarantee you that in marriage.
Don't even do yourself. Don't do that to yourself.
Nonsense.
You got even that you wake up in the morning. Right? Now you wake yourself up today. Continue saying.
What I'm trying to say is that it is one of the reasons why, because some of us, we have seen our fathers got married for years until they died. But right now, what the modern world is turning into is that every little thing, potentially a woman is triggered. Hey, this, I'm tired. Hey, this, there's no forbearance. It still comes back to the Bible. And I ask people the question. The question I ask people is that when Christ was alive, when Jesus came on earth, did he put a woman in his disciples? Did he call women into his discipleship? Which of course is his.
Yes, Mary Magdalene was the 13th disciple. Go ahead.
He was not.
Ola, you made that up,
Mr. Ola, I disagree. That one, no. Jesus did not pick.
Are you sure? Did you read your history?
Please, Ola, with due respect, let me make a correction to you, please. Because you mentioned that name. Mary Magdalene, she's more than a disciple. A disciple, they learn work.
Oh, okay.
So please,
thank you.
There is nobody in the Bible called blessed. Go ahead.
I beg. We are talking about disciples. We are not talking about.
Okay.
At each time when Christ was gathering, was there women there when he was preaching the word? Were these women there? I'm not anti-woman. I love women. I told you already that I stayed with my wife for 11 years.
Sheyi, what did I tell you 2 days ago? I said, Sheyi, you're a lover boy at heart. I said that now. Hold on 1 second, Sheyi, before you continue. This Blessed say, next topic request, how to build the right foundation for modern day marriage. Some of us still want great marriages. Please cover this topic maybe on June 12th. June 12th, mark your calendar. June 12th, we are releasing 30-day smart relationship guide. It's a boot camp that you have to go to for 30 days. It's free. Mark your calendars. We are releasing it on June 12th. So make sure you mark your calendars. I will announce, I'll give you the link at that time. And the first topic, guess what the first topic was? Oh, yes, right? I just finished taping it today, okay? It's about foundation. Okay, so go ahead, Shay, continue.
So what I'm trying to say is that I'm a lover of woman, and when I was with her, there was never a time I raised my hand or I raised my. Well, if I raised my voice, I did it out of passion.
Out of passion.
But out of passion. That this thing you're going wrong, you're going the wrong way. You need to do this. So what I want to say is that women need to know their role in marriage. I tell you, if the lines are blurry, the lines will continue to be blurry. The man should lead, the woman should listen. That is how we are going to create harmony in marriages. If that is not back in marriage, if we are still using the law, we are still fighting and blah blah blah, we are still doing this, we will continue to have more broken homes, more crimes. And even the devil knows it, that if there's a broken family means a destructive nation.
So there's something I will agree with you on, right? The devil is definitely attacking the family structure, but the devil is when he goes around the corner, go through all these different things, children, women, but really what he's trying to attack is the men. The men are falling for it, just so you know, okay? But let me go to Natu. Hang around. Natu.
Hey, I'm okay. Hey.
Hello, Natu.
Hi, sis. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Okay, so I've been listening. I was in the kitchen earlier, so I've been listening. So this is what I have to say, right? And I always make this analogy with the farmer. You can go to the farm and plant. The person that goes to check their farm, that weed their farm and put fertilizer and check it on and on and on, will get more result than you that just put the seed and come back in September to harvest it. So it's the work that you put in. And also feel like a lot of our African, especially the men, are missing out on a lot. The reason why a lot of us are not enjoying our marriages is because we choose to focus on faults, we choose to focus on weaknesses, and then we are refusing to enjoy, we are blinding ourselves from enjoying those things those benefits that the other person comes with. And even when Ola made a reference saying even Bablu will need advisors. Mm-hmm. Yes, the man is the leader. Yes, when the man is leading, the woman should listen. But guess what? There are times that you might not be going the right way, and she might tell you, you're going the right way, go this way. But if you tell me to keep quiet and let you listen, I'll keep quiet and listen and let you speak. And then when you finish driving for 4 hours and you realize that you're at the wrong spot, you now drive back 4 hours again and start driving to the destination you're going to. Have you realized that we've wasted time there now? And you will have gained more if you will have paused to listen to her, because in that situation, she probably have more information about that stuff than you. And that doesn't make you less of a leader. Everything that Buhari is doing today, and they are blaming Buhari, some of the stuff that Buhari is doing is as a result of those bad people that he has set around him, that are giving him bad advice, and he's implementing it and is bouncing on him. Nobody's going to those people and saying that they don't want to give Buhari bad advice. No, they are blaming Buhari. Why? Because he's the leader. Do you understand what I'm saying? So our men are refusing to take the lead. And now if you're refusing to take the lead and you're leaving your woman to do a lot of the stuff, and then when you turn back and want to muzzle her out of
Natu. They are saying that you need to allow the men to lead. You're saying they're not taking the lead. Which one is it? What's going on here?
No. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that I agree that men should be allowed to lead. But the question I'm asking is, are the men
I disagree with that. Men should not be allowed to lead. Men should figure out how to lead without being allowed to lead. But go ahead.
I mean, for lack of better words, men, you should figure out how to lead, because like I made, earlier,
it's like a man taking an excuse from a woman to lead. If you say men should be allowed to lead.
Exactly. Not to continue. Let Natu continue.
No. I just said.
No, Natu, wasn't about you. I just wanted to make sure I tackle that point. Continue your point.
Yeah, and that's why I said that's the reason why you need advisors. Buhari doesn't know anything about medical. When Trump was here and we had COVID, he didn't know anything about COVID. If he was let alone to make decision about COVID, everybody would have pied. Because Baba would just shut down, would say, you're not shutting down everything, leave everything to work. But he has to go with people that are professional in that field. So your wife having a knowledge about something more than you does not make her better than you. And I will say again, do not give a woman a reason to submit and she will not argue with you. But you guys leave a lot of loopholes and then you start crying and saying, these women are this, these women are that, these women are this. All of you quoting Bible have given you code on how to live with women. Love them. if you have shown woman love, that's our mumu body. Bible has told you, oh, but you're here quoting Bible. You're not applying what Bible is saying. You want to focus on fault. You can't win on that. Ola used to say it all the time. Ola says it all the time. You cannot win on that. And I used to applaud Ola. Ola says, I don't want to be a woman because you don't even know what it entails to be. Let me give you one short story. No. I cannot. Sorry, you had your time. My cousin's wife is like 5 months pregnant.
I barely have said anything here, but go ahead.
My cousin's wife
you
is
go
5
after.
months
I can. You
pregnant.
go after. Okay.
My
Not
cousin's
to
wife, I was listening to you in the background. My cousin's wife was like 5 months pregnant, and the baby cried in her belly, right? So they now said that they don't want to do a CS first. They want to induce her for the baby to like come out naturally. So they were inducing her. And then my mom and my aunties would sleep in the hospital, and then they would tell him to go home. So the day that the baby was coming, so he called the wife and he had her crying. And they said, oh, don't come, don't worry about it. And this guy left home 2 a.m. with all the insecurities and came to the hospital. And my mom and my aunt were upset why he came. I said, first of all, that's his wife. He's her first point of, that's her security. So if he stays home and is sleeping and something happens to his wife, what is he going to say? And I have to make them understand, please don't teach our brothers what your men did to you. When you go to the hospital and have baby and you have to go to work and come back and expect you to cook and not even minding what happened to you. No, let him go there. He wanted to go into the theater. They said no. Doctor said, let him go in. So I want you guys to understand that there are a lot of things that you have to unlearn to be able to enjoy your marriage. Let me tell you, back in the days, a lot of people didn't enjoy marriage. They were enduring it.
I disagree with that. Back in the day, it's a different context.
I totally disagree with that.
You're measuring how we look at things.
No. You cannot disagree with me. Let me tell you why I cannot disagree with you.
No, Ekene is disagreeing with a different reason.
He cannot. And let me tell you why.
But go ahead.
Let me tell you why Ekene cannot disagree. Ekene is a traditional man. You know where tradition comes from back in the day. Let me move on with my listen.
But
that's the point I'm making. Our men, don't give room for a woman to do something. I know they have the good bad ones sometimes, and you have the bad men. Don't generalize and say women are manipulative, women are so this and that. No, get that code. Do you know the reason why when you get a job and you want to leave and your job don't even beg you or offer you a higher salary? Because you don't have value to give them. I was in a particular job for 6 years. For 4 years, I didn't get any promotion. Until I left that job was when I understood that for the first 4 years, I didn't give any value. But the time I turned everything around and started giving value, I got a pay increase. I wanted to leave and they were offering me another pay. Do you understand? But if I had wanted to leave 4 years before, I wouldn't get that because I wasn't giving anything. I was just coming to work and going. Do you understand what I'm saying? So honestly speaking, no, this is not only about women, this, that. This is about us humans. This is about us humans. A woman is a bank. Whatever
you're saying, it's not about a BMW that will break down 3 years from now, basically.
Say that again?
You're saying this is not about a BMW that you're buying that has a chance of breaking down 3 years from now.
She's just putting women on pedestals, man.
BMW that has a chance of breaking down in 3 years is how you handle the BMW. Do you know that? Let me tell you one thing that I did. I had a car that I drove for.
Wait, are you saying BMW is not to death do us part? Which one are you saying right now?
No, I'm just explaining to you. If you have the idea that I'm buying a fairly used BMW that might break up in 3 years, I'm gonna give it this and this and this treatment to make sure it doesn't break in 3. You might keep that BMW to the next 7 years, and another person might not even be able to keep it for 2 years.
Right.
Do you understand? So, man, you're getting it wrong. You just want to tell your woman, turn left, turn right, turn this. No, it does not work like that. You are
okay. Natu, have respect for Natu, hold on. Natu, land your plane in 30 seconds.
No. He just said something. He said, I don't have what?
What did you say, Kene?
Natu said I'm a traditionalist, so that means she doesn't have respect for tradition.
Bro, I am a married woman for 6 years. And do you know what that means?
That means you're a married woman, but you just said now, Ekene is a traditionalist. That means you don't have respect for if I'm your husband, let me ask Natu, if I have
Bismillah.
if I Bismillah, if I have a
Yes, Jaden.
if I'm your husband, if I'm
Uh-huh.
your husband, I'm a traditionalist, and you're Muslim or Christian, so you're not going to have respect for me because I'm a traditionalist.
Why not?
Okay,
If I'm marrying you, I know who I'm marrying. If I'm marrying you, I know who I'm marrying.
That's if she
So
marries him.
because no.
That's if she marries, eh?
Exactly. That's if I marry you. That's if I marry you. No. Just let me tell you why this thing is going on a few minutes ago. My husband has something to do. I don't even have like slight information about those people, but he was coming to like tell me this is what I want. What do you think about it? Do you understand? And now I'm feeling appreciated because he's seeking my consent. He wants to hear my own view.
That is the point. That's the point you should even focus on. That is where the main point is. Because men talking about leadership actually don't know what a good leader should be.
No.
I think some people need to, not you, hold on. Some people need to go and read first, especially men, women. What is the properties of a good leader? The fact that you don't want your wife to talk or bring her opinion does not mean you are a good leader. You are a bad leader. Because a good leader listens. You understand? You must be a listening. All those tradition you people are talking. Please, Ekene, one moment. Because you're only talking about tradition. Let me ask you, Ekene, that is talking about tradition. Do you know that where you came from, there was a time in that transition that they used to use chain to change men bola when they walk with the king?
Jesus.
Did the tradition not change?
Okay, let me tell you.
So if we must, sorry, it's not a quarrel. My voice is like that. If a tradition must remain,
let him answer.
Yeah, let him answer. So
number one, that is not even in my culture or my tradition that people were in some part of Africa, some part of Nigeria. Yes, that is the case, but it's not in every tradition in Africa.
No, okay? Even if that particular example is not your tradition, there's not some traditions in your tradition that is not happening till today, other than marriage.
Guess what? Tradition are always is left to
evolving. Thank you.
No, modify. May I allow me to make an answer something when I ask me a question.
I know. I'm just saying to him that a lot of our traditions, I'm from the same place as you, Ekene. A lot of our traditions as Igbo people have changed, they have evolved.
A lot of our traditions have gone through changes for thousands of years. But the thing is that doesn't mean that our tradition has totally evolved. No, they modified it. Evolved is what we are saying now.
So when you I don't want change tradition.
No. We're not changing anything in women's matter because because our women don't know how to use the power we give them. When they can use it, you take it back. Tradition.
Who gave them the power? It's not a man's right to give a woman power. It's God that created us equally.
No, we are not equal. Please, we have to stop that. We are not equal with women.
We are not equal.
You might be equal with your woman. We're not equal. I'm not equal.
I beg, daughter. My daughter is equal to any man that will marry her.
But if you not, then you keep your wife, you keep your daughter single.
Then you keep your son too.
No,
I beg, one mic.
My son's wife cannot be equal to my son. No, my daughter cannot be equal to her husband. No, I don't allow that in my family.
One mic, okay. Wrench Turner, my brother, good to see you, man. Thank you so much. He says a good leader surrounds himself with people smarter than himself and influences rather than control.
God bless you. Thank you. Control. What are you controlling? Sometimes I don't really understand people. Control. Are you controlling a human being?
It's not a competition. It is not.
Men that have daughters will be talking as if.
Thank you so much, Wrench. Thank you, Wrench.
I guess his wife is smarter than him. I guess his wife is smarter than him.
That's why no woman can ever stay with you. That's the truth.
It's not a
Because
competition.
you are looking for what to control.
Hold on.
So you create your own human being and control the human being.
Bio, you're going to keep your daughter safe for a long time.
There are words that you don't say. You don't control human beings. Every human being is created by God.
Okay, hold on one second. Hold on, I beg. Hold on 1 second.
My brother, how can a man who cannot create
hold on now.
You cannot create ordinary hand. You are controlling. What are you controlling? Because you brought Ogogoro to my house, you come and control my daughter.
I beg, hold on.
Just imagine what this man is saying.
Hold on one mic. Hold on one mic. I need to give Ekene needs to. I need to give Ekene. Hey, I need to give Ekene 3 minutes to answer. I don't know if it's a question. He's trying to explain something. I beg Ekene, take 3 minutes. You're trying to say something. I feel like we're misunderstanding you.
Let me put it this way, because sometimes whenever there are I don't know if it's called. I understand that some men are feminists. I give them that. I have a cousin that is a feminist too. And
after you finish your 3 minutes, I will reply with my own 3 minutes, okay? So that I will tell you whether you are a maninist, not yourself. So use your 3 minutes. Hold me to. I will quiet. I'm going to hold on. Let me finish the 3 minutes.
7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Continue.
Thank you. Can I reclaim my time back?
Yeah, please. 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is one thing you have to understand there. When you talk about control, people think you got to physically control somebody. No, I'm of the opinion that the day a man puts his hand on his wife is the day he loses control. You see what I'm saying?
There's no only putting of hand. There's more than that.
Let me take my words now. 2 minutes.
Let him talk.
So the day you put your hands on your wife is the day you lose control. So when you say control, meaning that a driver that is driving a car has to maintain control of the steering, because if not, things are going to happen. A man that is the leader of his house has to maintain the control of his house, because if not, his son is going to be wayward, his daughter is going to be prostitute, his wife is going to be having kids that are not his, and he's not going to find out 30 years later. So there is always something that is going to go wrong when you don't maintain control, which means you have to be in charge of your house. That doesn't mean if your wife misbehaves, you slap her. No, that is stupidity. You have to have order in the house. And who brings about order is the man. As a man, this is what I tell men all the time. Before you marry a girl, find out if that girl can be able to can be controlled. Sometimes you just want to put your foot in people's mouth.
No, continue.
You have to be able to marry a woman, have that discussion with her to know if she can be able to discharge your duty. Meaning that the things that you lay in ground as a man, the things that you set in place, or is she going to be able to discharge those things? Is she going to be able to raise your kids according to your program? Which means you want your kids to be well trained, to be well brought up. Not kids that if somebody comes inside your house, they are misbehaving. No. She has to be able to control those kids. Tell those kids, do this or don't do that. You can't do this. Maintain order in the house. That's why you married her. She's your helpmate, not your partner, your helpmate. Help you to do those things that you can do while you're outside the house.
Sorry, Ekene, I'll give you your 2 seconds back. This is for Ekene, APC Bishop.
Your daddy.
Continue, Ekene, continue.
Okay. So, that's one thing that you have to understand. We have to be able as men, because guess what? If something goes bad in the house, this is why women don't want to be held responsible, because women cannot be held responsible. That's what it is. If a woman comes tomorrow and does anything in the house, nobody's going to come to her and say, why were the kids this? Why were the kids that? No, they go to the man. The man is the one that...
That's not true. That's not true. Even the men...
Let him finish. He will take it back. Let him finish.
That's not true.
You're going to counter.
Not to let him finish. You write down your point.
So,
I just gave you extra 20 seconds. Continue.
So, according to tradition, the man is going to be the one that people will blame when his family goes bad. Not the woman. It's the man that is going to be blamed. So, as a man, you have to be able to make sure you marry the right woman. I'm not going to marry somebody that challenges me. I'm sorry. Half of the women, in fact, almost all the women in this program, I'm not going to marry any of them.
Time out, please.
I don't want a woman that is going to challenge my authority.
We cannot marry.
All right. One mic. Wrench Turner says a good leader also interprets well. Read it again. This is not basketball, so let me go to Barabio.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to take it easy, and I want to also take it easy with Ekene because thank you for pausing me because you made me realize something. I was almost getting out of control, self-control. Now, the reason I'm saying this is this. Hold on, my brother. You see, sometimes, every time I always say this, for how many of whoever is out there who cares to listen, we don't just talk because we are trying to maybe please one gender or the other. See, every man has a mother. Every man, if not every man, at least we have sisters. At least we will still have daughters. So when a man speaks, and also when a woman is also speaking, she must not speak only from the woman point of view. You must speak in fairness, because the women that are talking today, one day their own son, their own kids will become husbands. True or false? So they are going to be on the other side of the divide. So what am I trying to say here? I say it, I don't say it to please any gender. I say it the way I believe, to the best of my ability, I see it. God created everybody equally into this world. Nobody, no one of us choose to say, I want to be a male or a female. We open our eyes and find out who we are. Even today, people are even changing their agenda in the other way, right? It's their choice. What am I trying to say? You cannot control a fellow human being that is an adult. That word is an insult to humanity. If you have that mentality, you better go and rewash your brain. If somebody is loyal to you because of what they are getting from you, don't think you have that power. Everybody has rights to their own decisions. So, in the institution of marriage, I heard this man said another statement that your wife is not your partner, it's your helper. First of all, it's your partner before you even talk about
sorry,
helper.
I disagree with that. She's my fucking.
No cursing. Slow down on the cursing.
You're talking to a feminist man, so don't challenge him, please. You know,
yes, I'm a strong feminist man. Let me finish my feminist.
Hold on. One mic.
You know that, my brother.
One mic.
There is God, though.
One mic.
Let me finish this one. And I will come to that Ula Balu person there. So now,
it's different from blue. Ulaba.
Bala blue human being.
Hold on. Before Bio, I'll let you continue. What was the point you're making, Shay? Really quickly. What did you say?
No, she's your point.
Hold on. She's your
who cannot control a woman cannot come here and be talking about control. If you could control your woman, why did they drag you out of the house?
Hold on.
Control. The same control that failed you. You are still coming here to promote.
Sorry.
The same control that failed you. You are coming here to promote it.
Hold on. Maintain your control, Bio. Hold on.
Controller general. Continue for there.
I want to hear.
Big men.
Wait. Hold on now, Bio. Hold on. Maintain your control. Shay, you were saying something. She's your fucking what? Shay, are you there? Shay, no free to hear me. Shay, you might have to exit and come back in. Looks like your audio is messed up. Bio, continue. I'll give you 2 more minutes.
Thank you very much. In fact, let me control myself first of all, because
I beg.
There is no
Thank
way
you
you
very
can
much.
control yourself.
So
Keep burning yourself.
hold on
Go on
1
with it.
minute. You
I'm
could not
behind
even
you.
control your kids; they left you. You could not control
They
your
had
wife; they
1 minute
left
for
you.
interjection, though. If you interject,
Thank
I'll add 1
you.
minute.
If you interject, you add 1 minute.
Yeah.
So, my brother, what I'm saying here today is that we cannot continue to apply the same method that made their marriages to fail. Because the gentlemen that I love so much here, these two controller generals, they could not even control one person. And that led to the breakup in their marriages. And all they could do is think they can come and control you.
My marriage is broken.
They can come and
What
control
are you talking
you
about?
inside this what they call it, YouTube channel. So in my own submission, yes, don't ever use that word on a public forum that you have something to control because you went to a village and you have some chicken change and want to marry somebody who took advantage of you because you want to show your ego with that chicken change, and at the time you used to speak, they listened to you, you thought you were controlling them. You didn't know that when the jungle mature, when that person become themselves and realize themselves, you will know that they will have that power to bring it to reality that you cannot control anybody. I don't attempt, I don't wish to control anybody.
I've looked at it.
Wait. Mute your mic, if you're not talking to us. Okay, it's muted. All right, good. Can you hear me? Film girl, is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, go.
I want to say something about control, right? The thing is that everybody is saying, the men are always saying they want to control. Even my ex used to use that same word, like, because when he was getting married to me, I was already like established, I was very independent, and then people were saying to him, are you sure you can control her? And then he was like, no, don't worry about it. I will deal with her. Do you understand? I got to hear the whole thing later. Do you understand? Like, are you sure?
He was a fool.
No, they were telling him, yeah, control. Are you sure a woman that's a car, that has a whatever? Do you understand? This thing about control, let me say something, right? If people love control that much, why did our people fight so much for the white man to leave us? Our men did not like the way the white men colonized us, were controlling us, right? And they said no at the point, right? No human being is born for control. Even our children, even as a child, you rebel against your parents. Do you understand? Your parents pay your school fees, they pay everything. At the point human beings are not born for that kind of control. So for you to actually be deluded that a woman, because she wants to get married, right? And she wants to be controlled, that word control should be taken out of the table entirely. Nobody is there to control anybody. Because the truth about it is that I'm in leadership at my place of work right now, right? And I've been in leadership, like where I used to work in Nigeria for a couple of times, right? You actually might get into a team of people and your followers don't want to follow you. They'll be disobedient. They would not come to work on time. But it depends on how you turn them around. There was a pastor that says, you kept saying that time, like, you have to win a follower's heart before you can ask for their hand. The way you interact with them as a leader, you can make that person that is insubordinate now turn out to be loyal to you. It's not, but the person will not be the person to allow you to lead. You go there and you find a way to lead the person. You touch their heart. You find something. You find a common ground, and that's where we are missing it.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. If you're going to lead, just don't think automatically the person will follow you because you're just a leader. No, it doesn't work that way. Because if you don't show the person reason,
it's not just that it doesn't work that way. It's clearly not working.
It's not working.
Exactly. Hold on 1 second. For Ekene APC Bishop.
Sorry.
Continue, film girl.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's not working. That's not how leadership is done, right? I've been leadership in the church. I've been leadership in the workplace. I've seen people that come in that are just not. They're not even. I'm like, what are you even doing here? But by talking to them, engaging them, find out what the problem is. Because you know what? Okay, let me say this. There's this time I was working somewhere and I had this opportunity to talk to a couple of men. Most of my friends are guys, funny enough. I don't really do female friends. So I was engaging this guy. He had broken up with his wife.
Why? Is that because women are manipulative? What's going on there? What do you mean?
No,
Kilo
it's just
Shele.
that I just
Why are you not
enjoy
friends with women too? Kilo
no,
de?
to do that coracle thing that women do. It's not just my thing. Like you know, always like
Okay.
I'm not good in that gang movement. I
She's
mean,
speaking with both sides of her mouth.
Continue.
speaking from both sides of my mouth, Ekene. I know what I'm saying. So this particular guy came to meet me and he was telling me about how his wife, you know, they broke up and everything. I'm like, tell me some more, like you say, you know, like, oh, she was this, she was that. And I said to her, okay, can you tell me this woman's background? He said, oh, that her mother was a policewoman. I wrote it down, number 1. And the mother was a single mother. I wrote it down, number 2. And I said, okay, even right now, can't you not see the situation, first of all? God gave you a woman, right, that has so much, she has actually had this kind of programming from where she was coming from. Your duty as a man was to deprogram her with love, right? Deprogram, because she came from a place whereby she saw her mother being extremely strong because she's a policewoman. She has to be very strong
Love wanting to.
for men not to walk all over her. Do you understand? She saw her mother have to, like, you know, challenge men because if not, they walk over as a policewoman. She lived in the barracks. A lot of things, a lot of competitions. Was the first daughter. So many things were stacked against this girl, right? It's just her conditioning. You're supposed to take time and deprogram this woman. We talked for a while. They were like, wow, he didn't really think about it that way. Like, yeah. Because when you walk into each other's lives, you're supposed to spend time and understand where both of us are coming from. Because we are all socialized differently. Your home is different from my home. The way I grew up is different from the way you grew up. We have to come and understand each other's background, first of all, and start and break down everything and then build a new foundation with both of us growing up. We're not coming to come and start, pointing fingers on the first day, you're a bad wife, you're a bad husband. No, that doesn't work that way, right? If I marry a guy that grew up from a polygamous family, it's different from a man that grew up in a monogamous family. They're two different people. Do you understand me? So all this control, we should please leave control behind, because even our men don't like to be controlled. Even they are in the Western world, they don't like what all these white people are doing to them. If you like control too much, why don't you stay there and let them manipulate you? But you're like, you be challenging authority. No, you can't talk. I know my rights. You challenge the police. You challenge everybody. Nobody wants to be controlled. Let us throw away control from this story. Let us learn to let's learn to understand people, break it down, understand them, understand where they're coming from. Then you build up the person. And that is what the Bible charged us to do. Is it in Ephesians 5 or Titus? I can't remember. Where he said, present your wife as a living whatever, wash her, clean her. All that is a process. Because when you come to Christ as an unbeliever, there's a process, a mind changing, everything that you go through.
Femgirl, let me ask you this question. Why do we need to cleanse woman?
I mean,
it's in Ephesians 5. But he does say that cleansing, something like that. But why is it that we need to cleanse women? Why were they dirty?
No. I don't have. That's the only part I remember. I know it's a very long scripture, right?
Okay.
It's about like purifying her, presenting her like Jesus presented the church unto God.
Yeah, it's precisely why we're loving women. But why is it that we need to cleanse women?
So now you have to control women. You got to control her now.
Got caught up in the words, right?
I hear you. It's not even about the words. But go ahead, continue your thoughts. Sorry.
That got to do with our physical things. Well, we should go into that. You know what women go through normally.
Men are stop all these things. Stop this thing.
Sorry. Let Film Girl continue.
Okay.
I interrupted her.
I'm about to finish, right? I'm just saying that the Bible made it clear. After I said submit to each other, he now said, woman, submit to your husband. Then man, love your wife. Then he now gave the man a lot of duties to do, right? And he was like, making like this is the way Christ brought the church to God. It takes patience for Jesus to actually, work with us, work on our mind, talk to us, change the way we think, show us different. It took time, right? He didn't come and say, you're a sinner, you're a bad person, you are this. No, it's not about blaming. It's about building each other up. It's about understanding each other. Because in the way the Bible presents it, the man has lots of work to do in a marriage, more than the woman, actually. And that's why he's the leader. The leader takes more of the work. As a leader, you must be ready. You can't be leading from a place of pride. You must be ready to say, okay, I think I've made a mistake today. I'm very sorry. If I spoke to you somehow, I apologize. It shouldn't happen again. And let us try something else. But if you have so much pride in you, you cannot even sit down and evaluate yourself and say, this leadership I'm giving, is it the right way of leadership? That's all I want to say.
Thank you so much, Film Girl. You know you're welcome here anytime.
Let me add to what you said.
Before you go, Film Girl, do you have a last word? Because I want to be dropping people off now.
Oh no, I'm okay. I'm good. Thank you.
You're good. Thank you so much. You're welcome anytime.
Let me add to what Fingel said real quick.
Not to go.
Okay.
So right, and to what Fingel was saying, like you've always said it. It's not working, this controlling attitude. And that's why you see, even in jobs, I've worked in UBA in Nigeria. I worked in Koala, my manager then Clem will have people do everything he wants us to do while the assistant manager cannot get us to do it. You know the reason why? Clem is not a controller, he's a leader. He allow us come to him and give him input on things that we see will work. If Clem begs us and say, please, I don't want anybody to move until the banking hall is cleared, nobody will move. But if the other manager speaks, everybody will leave.
I would not like to interrupt you, but my sister, I give you kiss for back of your head.
Voila. Continue.
Thank you, my boy. Because Clem has been able to move along with us. He has been able to cooperate us in his idea and everything that he's doing as a manager. He gives us a say. Clem will not just come and tell you move right. No. If you say, oh God, we cannot move right because going left will make us do this, you say, okay, let's try it. He can say no because he's the guy in charge, but he won't. And till today, if I'll get a chance to work with Clem again, I'll work with him just because of that. But other people did not have that. And these people saying, somebody said earlier, I think it was Shea, I didn't hear all of it, that he was saying that, I never raised my hand on her, this and that and that and that. There are a lot of things that you do to a woman that you don't have to raise your hand on her. You might be, if you've read Ola's book, you hear it. You might be lying on the same bed with her and not touch her. You might be in the same house with her and not talk to her, just saying hello and passing. That alone that's emotional abuse.
Sorry, can I?
No, after her.
Bro, you are a leader. You are in charge of your wife's physical, mental, and emotional. You are in charge of that in your house. If that's missing in your house, check yourself. If you don't have the capacity to check yourself, then you are not meant to be married. You don't even reach to keep woman for your house. If you cannot evaluate that. There's something I used to say all the time. If I come back home from anywhere and I say, oh my God, I feel I'm tired. If I mistakenly open my mouth and tell my husband, what will you eat? He will just say, you just said you are tired. Go and rest. Don't worry, I figure myself out. You think if that man wakes me up at 12 a.m. and say he wants to eat food, I will not cook it. I will cook it. I will cook it. Because I don't get to cook every day. I get a pass on that. But if he says you have to cook fresh food for me every day, I will rebel one day. I will rebel. But because he understands.
No, hold on, let her finish. She's giving us a last word. Continue.
Do you understand? But because he understands,
after
I will
you
move along fine with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So because he's a leader, he didn't say that I have to eat fresh food every day. No. Sometimes you tell me cook and put it in the fridge so that I can just warm it. So you see, he's giving me ideas on how to make it easy for me. He didn't say he's a leader, cook every day.
This is getting triggering, but continue not to.
No, but my husband came from Nigeria, by the way. He came from Nigeria. He's not even brought up here. So he has that African man, but no. He said, let's see how we can make it easy for ourselves. When we're getting this house, I had to go check the house that we're moving into. When I said I liked it, he now said, okay. He now went to collect the lease. I had to go check and say, okay, I like this place. You know why? Because it's the woman that has the home, not the man. If you get a place where your wife is comfortable, even you enjoy yourself. But if you want to say, no, we have to do left and right, you go here and you go collect. You collect, and that's the problem that we have.
Keep advising women how to leave their husband.
I'm not advising them to leave their husband.
Hold on. One mic. Not before you continue. But before you continue, see, this is the issue right here. We waited long enough, and now it seems that Ekene, you're getting triggered by somebody saying we should leave. Remember earlier you were saying people should be able to exercise options of divorce. Remember you said that?
No. I'm saying that, but I'm not
just hold that thought
and advise somebody to
just hold that thought.
Have to have their own.
Just hold the thought.
Respond
to you later. Hold your thought. Continue not to.
Ekene, everybody has what works for them. Do you understand? Everybody do works for you. What worked in my own house will not work in your own house. What work in your own house will not work in my own house. Just know that one. So I'm not telling somebody to pick from what I know. Even when Ola shared with us in his book, there's a place where Ola said there are a lot of steps that therapy use that's not working for people. And he had to go his own route and figure out how they can make it work. Did it work? Yes. So if I'm sharing my own, I'm not telling you to follow my own. No. Do what works for you, sir. But I just want to tell you that everything that you're doing comes with a price tag. Are you willing to pay for it?
Consequences. Yep.
Yes. Yes. Even your kids. And you said earlier that if a child is bad, they'll blame the father. I've never heard. I'm an African. I grew up in Nigeria 27 years before.
Oh, yeah, that's opposite in Yoruba.
Anytime a child is bad, they'll say it's the mother.
It's the mothers, yes, absolutely.
But if a child is doing good, they'll say you're the child of your father. They'll beat you and say that's the son of his father.
Maybe in Igbo land is different. Maybe.
They will say that's the son of his father. So what do you want to say? What do you want to say? Bro, I'm not saying anybody to leave their husband's house. I mean, my husband is not smooth. But guess what? We're figuring it out. We are figuring it out because we want it to work.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I say what?
Hold on, sir. Natu, thank you so much, You got your last word in, right, Natu?
Oh, is this the end?
Yeah, you have a last word? Because I'm wrapping up.
Yes.
You're good to go? Okay, good. We'll talk on the other side.
Right.
All right.
Bye. So
Go ahead.
This is what I'm going to say real quick, right? Some people are getting married and they have no business getting married. We have grown up, especially Africans, to see a lot of things. We've been through a lot of traumas that we have not unlearned, and we are going into marriage and like projecting those stuff that we've seen in our own house, with our own parents, into other people's children. And now, if you're getting married, one thing that you need to understand is that you're coming from a different background. Your wife is coming from a different background. So it's either you slow down, you understand where she's coming from, or the house will just catch fire. You have to understand that you will not have the same ideology. You will disagree to agree. Like, you just have to, you're living with a total stranger. And you have to start learning living like a little baby. How babies start crawling and start working. That's how marriage is. But the problem that we have is that we lack patience. And because we don't have that patience, we just want automatically to get married, and that person just adapt everything that has to do with us because I'm the man. It has to be like that. No, you have to be patient. I used to tell myself all the time, just the way that I want my husband to be patient and understand some things with me, I have to be patient too, to give him that grace to be able to grow on some things. It's the same way. So if you're one-sided and it's always you, it will not work. And if you're talking about, oh, I've lived with her, I've done this, I've done that, but I've never done this and that, go and retrace yourself against her. When you fight, how do you settle it? When you fight, how do you treat her? When you're upset, what do you say? Sometimes you even have to touch some words that come out of your mouth. Bro, forget about it. So let's not even go into that. But when you go and sit down and think, what have I done that has contributed to this woman acting this way? I'm not saying there are no bad women. No. I'm not saying there are no good bad men. If I be the best guy, because I know somebody that brought a woman from Nigeria to trim out of the house, like that one is a total story, is a different story entirely. We have those bad eggs, but we have good ones. Sometimes we put in seeds. Sometimes you put in seeds into your wife that grow over time, and when it grows and becomes a full-blown tree, you start screaming, I don't know where this is coming from. No, sir. Those were the seeds that you planted. It just grew. But you were just being oblivious by the whole thing, and now you want to act surprised by seeing a tree. Hello, that mango where you throw the way you leak, throw seed for back of house. Now the tree grow. That was how it works. But I know we're not ready for this conversation now.
Sorry, can I say?
Hold on 1 second. So thank you, Natu. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, sir.
We'll talk soon. For Kathy Williams, who's asking, where can we read your book again? Just go to loveandprestige.com. You can see it on the screen.
If you have Audible, go to Audible. Is the best. Listen to it on Audible.
You can see
4 times.
Yeah, you can see the link to all of that from loveandprestige.com. Thank you so much, Natu. Let me go to Shei. I can't wait. I want to hear what you have to say, bro.
Yeah, thank you very much.
With
the greatest of respect, Mr. Ola, I'm sorry for the outburst. I called you about 2 days ago, and we had a mature conversation, like real men talk, and not somebody abusing me, talking me down. I see that as a disrespect to me. I was married for 11 years. I know what my eyes saw. I was a dumb for 11 years. I was a simp for 11 years. I did it so well, and yet I didn't satisfy the woman. Jeff Bezos today, but Jeff Bezos with all the money he had,
It's not good enough.
I mean, it still went off the roofs. So I mean, I feel that there's no manual that you can use. There's no manual for marriage. Whatever works for you works for you. I don't believe in books, reading books to love. I believe in practicality, and I have seen two sides of marriage. I've seen the very bad side. I have seen also the very good side.
I
I've seen
beg,
the side
Shay,
where
Shay, all I need to sell is book. Or start,
No.
all I need to sell is book.
That's okay. That's okay. Let me continue.
You know, so I believe that, I mean, not playing your role as a leader.
Oh, sorry, Shay. By the way, the book is free. It's completely free. But continue.
No. It's not even though it's free, man.
No, just for the other people listening, not even about you guys.
Okay.
Continue. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that the control there is not that you will be flogging the woman or beating the woman. No, I never raised my hands on the woman. I was passionate about her career. I was passionate about her life. I was passionate about everything that concerned her. And at one time, I became very sick. My story, if I tell you my full story, you will shake. And I told myself, I vowed in my life that I will never again I will I surrender to any woman. She must submit to me. Does that mean control? No. She must be feminine in her approach. She must be willing to take my lead. I will listen to her where I need to listen to her. But if she crosses the line, I will walk out of that marriage. But am I getting married again? The answer is a big no. I've seen it all. I've done it. I've moved on. And I'm here. I'm standing on my feet. This is me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Is that your last word, Shay?
Yeah, that's my last word. Yeah.
You know, you're welcome here anytime. We'll continue the conversation, okay? All right, good. All right. Wow. There's a lot there. I'm taking notes. I do have some word for all of them now after you're done. But let me go to Angelia. Are you there? Unmute your mic. Angelia.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yay. I know your network. You did Nigeria, right? So your network was in and out earlier.
Actually, I left. It was not that my network was.
Oh, you left. Okay. Continue. I'm hearing you, my sister.
Okay. To be honest, everything I heard from everyone was a lot. But I want to say something, and I will say this. I actually, as a young person, I learned a thing in my parents' marriage, although it's a typical African marriage, and also I learned a thing from other people's marriage, like through observation and all that. And I came into conclusion that a marriage is a partnership. Okay, for example, I think two of the men in the show were talking about a man should lead in a marriage. Well, they are correct. A man should lead. But I also ask, what does it mean to lead in a marriage? Because I've been hearing them say control. Should you have to control your wife in order for you to lead? Absolutely not. That's what I would say. Because to me, I believe a man that lead in a marriage means, contributing to the growth, happiness, and the well-being of both partners, with nurturing a strong and fulfilling partnership. For example, a true leader in a marriage should have emotional support. Means they should be able to listen attentively, validate their spouse feelings, and offer empathy and understanding. And they should also create safe space where both partners can express themselves and find comfort during difficult times. If you are a leader and you don't give emotional support to your wife, there's going to be issue in your marriage, whether you like it or not. Also, communication and collaboration. I noticed that in every African marriages, they lack communication and collaboration. You will see that the husband wants to say his own part and he does not want to listen to his wife's part. Also, you will see that the wife also wants to see her part, and she does not want to listen to her husband's part. So if there is miscommunication and lack of collaboration between the wife and the husband, that marriage will never work. Well, if you like, pray till Jesus Christ come, it will never work. Also, mutual respect and equality is very important in a marriage. I don't know if it's Ekinde or Sheyi or Abi Shege Abi whatever. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Shay.
Yeah, thank you, Sheyi. You were talking about, oh, I think it's Ekinde. He said that, oh, I am the leader of my marriage. My wife can never be equal to me. Mr. Ekene, I'm sorry to disappoint you. The type of leader you are doing, the type of so-called leading you are doing is a rubbish one. Look at, for example, look at most African countries. We are not going to lie that, oh yeah, our leaders are leading us, but they are leading us in a bad way. A leader in a marriage supposed to give respect and treat his wife equal. Why do you have to control somebody for you to become a leader? I don't really understand it. You need to value your wife's opinion, beliefs, and individuality, because there are some situations whereby you can't know it all. Abi, is there any human being that knows it all in this world? Maybe I don't know. I might be wrong, because sometimes when you are going the wrong way, your wife can see it and say, "Oh, honey, I think you are going the wrong way. I think we should go this way." But if you are somebody that you are not ready to value your spouse opinion and listen and say, "Oh, let me think, was I going the wrong way or was I not going the wrong way?" If you are somebody that say, "Oh, how dare you tell me that that I'm going the wrong way, you should shut up your mouth, I'm the leader in this marriage," omo, you go enter kata, you enter gutter one day and you never come outside of it. Also, share responsibility. There's no marriage that, I don't know. To me, I don't really understand African marriage, whereby the man will say, "Oh, I can't assist in the house chores, or I can't take care of the kids because it will look as if I'm less of a man." I don't understand. Is it written in the Bible or anywhere in the world or in the dictionary that if you assist your wife in house chores or you take care of your children, you know, does it mean you are less of a man? Like, where do una they get this ideology from? Assisting your wife in chores and in other things like child rent and financial management will help your marriage basically, and you get to enjoy your marriage. You saying, "Oh, I can't do this because according to our culture," this culture una they talk about. Remember I remember in Nigeria whereby they were killing twins, but now we've stopped killing twins. In fact, people are praying to God for twins.
One thing is that I think she's been
Hold on.
speaking for too long.
Let her finish. Let her finish.
Yeah, I don't have all the time.
But I'll give you your own time. Let her finish.
Yeah, but I won't stay that long. But.
No, she will land in about a minute or two. No, give me your last word, Angela. We're rounding up. Give me your last word.
Okay. Yeah. So I believe that a true leader in a marriage should have share responsibility, trust and loyal, growth and self-improvement, empathy and understanding, and prioritizing the marriage. Empathy and understanding, trust and loyal, share responsibility, mutual respect and equality, communication and collaboration is very important in a marriage. If all these things are not in a marriage, that marriage will not stand. Most of African marriage, sorry to say, they were never built on all these I just mentioned. They were never built on good foundation. That's why when you see them going to the West country or the European country, their marriage is always quick to fail because there was no foundation there in the first place. So when I hear people say our marriage was good in Nigeria, when was your marriage good in Nigeria? The reason why your wife did not tell you the truth is because in Nigeria, there is no women's rights, and there is no what do you call it? There's no assistance from the government to assist any spouse that divorce their wife their partner in case of abuse or other things. So when I hear men say my marriage was good, no, your marriage wasn't good. Your marriage was good for you, but it wasn't good for your wife.
Thank you so much, Angelia. Thank you so much. You're welcome here anytime. Okay. Thank you so much. I will arrange a better facility for us to continue the conversation. But thank you. What I want to do right now is I want to go to Ekene. Okay. We're getting last word. Let's try to limit it to three minutes at most. But let me get Ekene's last word for today. Ekene, of course, we have to continue the conversation. So go ahead, bro.
One thing is this, right? There is a big problem in our culture. I see Americans crying that they have the highest rate of divorce. They have the highest. I said to them, you guys haven't seen anything. Just wait one day when the canker worm is open in Africa.
Ekene, that's not what you were saying before. You were selling them Nigerian girls before.
I'm heading somewhere.
Okay, all right.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So I said to them, just wait until one day you open African canker worm, and then you see that divorce rate in Africa or unmarried woman will be 90%. Unmarried women in Africa, especially in Nigeria. But our Nigerian women don't understand the danger of what awaits them. Our women are one of the most least desirable in marriage. Our men are one of the most desirable in marriage. If you go outside Nigeria, Nigerian men are rushed all over the world. You know that. Look at TVs all the time. Look at Kenyan men. Look at Kenyan women. Look at Gabon women. Look at Uganda women. Look at South African women. They are always talking about how they want Nigerian men. And the same women are loyal to our men, but our women are not. Our women haven't seen anything yet. But one thing that they have to understand, the reason why I say that divorce rate was high in the days of our ancestors was because our women were stubborn then too. Our women were divorced in higher rates among our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers. They divorced them like crazy because our women are too masculine. They want you to nurture them. They want you to pet them. They want you to assist them. They want you. What the hell? Who do you think a man is? So that's why our men die crazy, because our women want them to do all these things. They want you to be the masculine man. They want you to be the feminine man. They want you to be the in-between man. They want you to be a man without border. What does the man get in return? No, nothing. But to be everything that you want him to be. That is why our men died like crazy. And men are saying today, no, we're not going to do that anymore. You come to my house and you live under my program. And if you're not going to do that, you go home. And I encourage Nigerian men every day, if she's not going to live under your program, get rid of her. Let her go. Let her go. Don't bother yourself living with an animal that don't want to be able to take care of your household when you're not around. A lot of Nigerian men in this country, do you know what they are? They couldn't even do. I have friends of mine that couldn't do business because their wives believe that if they go to Nigeria to do business, they're going to get another wife, or they're going to pursue women. They will hold that man down. If he wants to travel to Nigeria, they will threaten him with divorce. A man that wants to better your family, and what gets into your mind that he's going to cheat?
Okay.
No, you got to. We have to stop. We have to stop this thing of always trying to please our women. I'm not in that business of pleasing no woman.
That idea is disconnected from your words. You're very engaged with this conversation. That's completely disconnected. That's a disconnect. Okay, you clearly care about pleasing women and you care about what the women think, but we have to continue the conversation. So I'm still waiting for your DM so that we can actually set something up. Okay, bro? Thank you so much for coming up.
No problem.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
All right, let's do this. Before I go to the last words, I have Adebusola here. Adebusola for now.
Hello, man of prestige.
How you doing? You remember me today, eh?
I have to. I'm always in the background listening. Like I just most of the time I just don't contribute.
Okay.
Yes.
What are your thoughts today? And it's going to be your last word because you kind of came late.
Yes, I understand. Well, I wouldn't have come on because personally, if people with their beliefs like the one that Mr. Ikene holds, I don't have an issue with it. And like if you have observed my line of conversation since I come on here, I say you have the right to your belief. However, whichever woman you are bringing in, I hope he said if you cannot submit to his program, I hope before he brings such women in, they have that discussion about his program. Not that he deceives somebody.
Not surprise.
Yes, and then the person will enter into marriage with you. After the marriage, you now start saying this is that. I believe that there are women that subscribe to his notion. Like I've seen them online, like advocating for that for me, and he's going to find such women openly. But one interesting thing about men like Kenya, I don't like generalize them, but it's a common trend. They won't look for the woman that subscribes to their notion. They will look for the woman who doesn't believe in those things and try to humble them. Like that, the marriage will not work in that instance. And I feel the emotion in Mr. Sheyi's voice. I don't know what he went through in his marriage, and I'm sorry about that. But from the little information that you shared, he said he's always grinding for the wife, putting her in the forefront. For those of us that are Christian, I even believe the Bible says, "Love your neighbor as yourself, not more than yourself." Two things can be right at the same time. You can be grinding for somebody's success in their career and also work on yourself too. Like while you are trying to grind for someone, you don't have to lose yourself trying to uplift other people.
Yeah.
So like there's this boundaries that I believe the individual should actually set for themselves. And while you are still very much respectful or grinding for the other person, you shouldn't lose your own.
Yeah.
You shouldn't lose yourself to the extent that you feel drained after a couple of years and you feel used. So, like, I'm not trying to blame him. I believe he did whatever he did from what he believes in, and it's okay. Now, going exactly back to tradition, there is a very, very good tradition that we have in Africa and in Nigeria that I think most of us do not subscribe to. There is this act of storytelling, and I believe it happens in most families. If you have an aunt who has a very good family, people talk about them. They say this uncle is this uncle is that. I personally do not believe that you have to learn by experience alone. I believe that's by experiencing it yourself alone. I believe that you can learn from other people's experiences. Like if you see what other people have been doing, and you see what works for this person, you can pick and choose the best of all those things and apply it in your own marriage. Like this one is not a blue-black situation that you must follow it. And that storytelling thing, I just wish that we don't lose it. Like we still continue to do it. Like tell your children the stories about what happened. If he does something that you feel like is wrong, you have a particular person in the past who has done this and how it's happened for that person. Now, to the last comment that Mr. Ekene make about Nigerian women be the least desirable. Well, that's his own opinion. And I feel like he's coming from a place of fear. Because if you are a traditional man, like he claimed to be, that's why I'm doubting. I'm beginning to side-eye him now. You will not speak ill of your women. Traditional men protect their community. And by that, you don't put a bad image about your women out there. Like, it's something that I will never understand. Like, why will you say, in order to uplift yourself and feel big or feel in control, you have to put the other person down? Like it doesn't make sense. Like I would never rational. I would never understand people who think like this. And I believe that is something that is fundamentally wrong. Maybe women have done him shaggy in the past. I don't understand. And what he's saying about Nigeria women, we see what will happen. That's fear mongering. It's fear mongering. Personally, I believe that if you have a marriage that doesn't work, it's not by force. And I don't think that you understand something that is going on. There's a revolution going on now. Like I think women are beginning to accept the fact that they would rather be single than being in horrible marriages. And he doesn't see that. And it's okay to be fine. Like and everybody will be fine in the end. Like I don't understand why, because you have a particular belief, it's okay to have your belief, and I respect you for having that belief, but you don't have to create fear on people that have different beliefs. That will not change their mind. In most cases, psychologically, it doesn't work. When you are using fear, you are trying to instill fear. Over time, people will say, okay, and so what? At the end of the ocean, I won't be married, but I'd rather have my peace than be married to somebody who has a program. I maybe it's a computer program to control me. So, I'm talking about loyalty. We also touch on loyalty. Like, I don't believe I owe someone like him loyalty. Someone who can come out and make a blacklist statement about Nigerian women being the least desirable. Hell no. Hell no. Like, I actually understand his plight and everything, but and if we should, I think sometimes when we talk, we should repeat what we say to ourselves. Because sometimes if we do, we understand that, like, logically, if you reverse it, like you said, people should be loyal to you, and at the same in the same statement that you are making, you said they are the least desirable. You see, like, can you see the contradiction in those two statements?
I did smell a lot of confusion today, but continue.
So, like, I don't know what is going on with him, and I hope he finds peace and he finds what he's looking for in life. And I kind of sense from the way he talked that he's an older person. I don't know, but I wish him all the best. And I just hope that everybody just learn from other people's experience. And when people tell you these things, don't say that they don't mean it. Like, you have to push back, query people's thoughts in line in marriage. And I wish everybody all the best.
Thank you
for
so much,
having me.
Adebusola. You know, you're welcome anytime. Do me a favor, just make sure you call in a little bit earlier next time. I'm gonna try to collect some kind of consensus on what's the best day for a call-in pull-up date, so that I can leave room like this, but maybe do even longer hours. So, but today I wasn't prepared for I was supposed to be reacting to Daddy Freeze, but we did maybe 60 seconds of that. Yeah.
Became a little bit okay.
Yep. Thank you so much.
For having me.
All right,
Have a
we
good
talk
one.
soon. All right. All right. Who wants to go now? Let me get T Love first before I go to Chiye Bio. But T Love, you did there.
Yes, I am.
You came
Good
late
evening.
too. Good evening.
Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. I just want to say that most of the things that I wanted to say, it's already been covered. But I just wanted to bring another angle. I'll just try to be very quick. In terms of the leadership from another perspective. So I want to use the example of what someone they gave an advice. In this case, I'll use my dad. He's the older sibling in his family, and he has lots of younger ones. And I'm also the older sibling, so I don't know how this discussion came about, but there's something he said that I still remember to this day. He said that as a leader or as the older sibling, just because you are the older sibling, it doesn't mean that they give automatic respect. You have to carry them along and lead by example.
Right.
And also in another case, we have the example of Jesus in the Bible. He was humble. There are different things he did. He washed the apostles' feet. There are cases where they said, who is the greatest among them, this and that. And he said, whoever is like a little child, whoever does this, like so many examples, leading by
Of good
love.
leadership.
And then people will follow along. And it's not a by force or control situation. It will come accordingly. When you follow along, when you lead by example, you are a leader, but you also, there's a way you come about it. You don't need to force people to get them to listen to you, to respect you, it comes naturally. And that's why there's like so many people I love, like in the case of Auntie when she talks about, loving you too, you also have your own perspective. It comes naturally. Not that, oh, you are the man, you are the older one, or in this case as a senior, you are the older one, you have to respect me. And in the Yoruba, it doesn't just go just because, oh, even though we live by respect your older ones. The Yoruba people, they also say that even though you are the older one, yes, but there's still something you do that may cause your younger ones to lose respect for you. It's always the same thing with relationship. It's not something that, oh, you say this and that. So that's just what I wanted to say. There are lots of things that have been said already. So I just said, let me just come.
Right.
And thank you so much for giving me the time to talk. So it's very
Thank you.
short.
You're welcome anytime. Just call me a little bit earlier next time.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Take care. All right. Let me go to, at this point in time, I want to go to Brother Bio. I hear you. Do you want to drop or you want to wait?
Yeah, let me just drop off here.
Okay.
So much.
Thank you for coming up, by the way.
Thank you. And I had other things doing, so I had to pause some time. Thank you very much. And I want to, first of all, I know the caller that spoke before this last caller had said Sheyi. No, not the guy. Before this last caller, there was somebody else.
That was Adebusola.
Anyway, yes. So I know she already talked on that, so I just want to add my voice to that. The gentleman Sheyi, I personally don't know you, and as a man, I feel your pain. Are we here to say that people don't have pain or they've not gone through, maybe according to your story, even though we don't have the facts, So we're not saying there are not people out there, but when you come publicly like this, you must understand something, that you cannot use one or a few situations to generalize things. So I think she is more a little bit a guy that can still reason very well. For me, I believe he will heal fast. But I think Ekene on the other side is a virus. So that's gone so deep that nobody can say, because how dare him, a man who came on a public forum and called women animal. Please, for my own repute and my picture on this screen, I had to make this statement, because in the society where I live, if they hear that I'm even in this kind of conversation, it can even cost my job. Let me tell you, it can cost my ambition in this society. So with that being said, please, when you want to say some certain things, you look for a place where you can go and say it. You can't come here with so much disregard for Nigerian women, so much disregard for women generally, and just call a human being animal. He continues doing this thing. No matter how much people talk about it, you can talk today, from today till tomorrow, Ekene will never change. I don't know what somebody must have done to Ekene. I don't know the kind of pain that Ekene have in his heart. In fact, the Ekene's ex-wife, if I have a number, I'm going to give her additional money to run far from this man, because his bitterness. Some persons even wrote here that if Ekene is a friend to your husband or my brother, I will call that my brother, to just please leave Ekene's environment. So I just want to set that record clear, so that we'll just know that I'm not debating with him and I don't belong to that school of thought. Then on a final note, again, will women not take advantage? I mean, the few bad eggs or the bad eggs among women, will they not take advantage of, men that are trying to let them understand that, no, it's a free world, let everybody be okay, Yes, we know that. Some bad eggs will take advantage of that. Will there not be opportunities women who, from their background, they just target. If you come with this mindset into any relationship, not just marriage, that a relationship that involves two persons, you can never know the mind of the other person. So therefore, no matter how, we are just doing things based on trust. So if you are doing things based on trust, you must trust your partner. However, you must guide yourself, because I have seen that men that refuse to heal are those people that think that marriage is forever. We want marriage to be a life ambition. Nobody said we don't want that, but can it really be? No, it is not about what you want. It is about the realities. Every human being want to live forever on this earth, but is it possible? No, because one day we must go. So that is how it is. Put your mind off this. Don't think that you can capture anybody. Just pray for the best, wish for the best, and as she even put it, don't even think of leading. See, I can't even deal with a micromanaged manager. I lead a team in my own company by the grace of God. But you know one thing I never do? I notice that people don't like to be micromanaged.
Yeah.
In fact, if I discover that you are a micromanaged person, that you try to micromanage me, I'm going to leave that job.
Yep.
Because I don't like it.
Yep.
It's a matter of time. So please, no control. No human being can control. Leadership is given. Is given, and you must lead by example. Jesus said he came to save. So that is why you must put on your profile a servant leader. Have you heard of that word? A servant leader. You lead through service. You know, so I want to end it there and say thank you very much, my brother, for all that you do.
For clarification,
yes,
did he say Nigerian women are animals, or he said they what exactly did he say? Can you recall?
So when he was talking about how Nigerian women are the least desired women on earth, according to him,
right?
Yes, that why will you mind them animals? Let them go. So the animal came. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
And even if you go down the comment section.
No, who was talking? Who was that?
Sorry, that was Chinya.
Yeah, Chinya.
Sorry, let me let Bio finish his.
Yeah, let Bio finish because you're the last person in the studio. Go ahead,
yes,
Bio.
so that was where he kind of referred to Nigerian women in that statement as animals. And even on the comment section, you can still see somebody earlier on, even you posted the comment here when he said, how dare you call Nigerian women animals? So I know that was a place I want to lift him off that weight and believe that he doesn't really mean it. He was just saying it out of contest, you know, because this is not a good way to go. Please.
Yeah, but it's the same issues at its core. Animal controlling, you know, there's offensive words to make a point, and then you continue to dig a bigger rabbit hole.
Just imagine.
You know, so, but again, these are the conversations we're having here. We'll continue to have it. It's absolutely wrong. It's just wrong. There's no context that we can wrap that around. I'm trying to, like, I'm not even going to entertain continuing to perpetuate that. We're just going to leave that at that, but it's absolutely wrong, and we don't tolerate that here. We will have this conversation. Okay, that's just what we're going to have to do. And yes. You know, thank you so much,
and just add it on the note. The only thing you can control in a marriage is to seek for divorce. That's the only thing you can control.
And yourself.
Yes, you control yourself and seek for divorce. That's the only thing you can control. Thank you very much.
Every attempt to control that human being
does not work. It will fail. Yeah. So if you
even
feel,
your children,
if you feel you are not leading well, or you are not enjoying the benefit of being an husband, please go ahead. You have the control. That is why the law is there. The court have said it. So just come out. Go take control of the situation, go to the court and ask for divorce.
Yeah.
Chikina.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bio. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right,
All
you're
right, take
welcome
care. Bye.
anytime. Yep. Chinye, it's you and I now.
Yeah, so yeah, just real quick on what Dio was saying about that whole animal thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
though I mean, it was just really, it was maddening. I mean, of course, not that wasn't exactly how he said it verbatim, but he was alluding to the fact like, oh, if it's not a woman,
Mm-hmm.
that's going align his own train of thought, or not going, not
Yeah.
that he cannot control the way he wants, and
Mm-hmm.
then let that animal go, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
which is still very offensive.
But there are
But
70
anyway,
people that help them interpret it the way they like. This is the reality.
exactly. Because as perspective, we all as human
Yeah.
beings, we have perspectives. Like, there was this party that I went to. Just let me not go all over the place really quickly, but
Mm-hmm.
it just really taught me a lot. We just had a very simple activity. It was very clear and concise instructions. Cut this paper this way, fold it this way. By the
Mm.
time all of us finished, all of us had 7 different designs
Mm.
following the same instruction, just to show that we as human beings, we all have our own glass lens, how we see and understand and process things. But
Mm.
anyway, um, so my own last train of thought,
Last word. Mm-hmm.
last word is I mean, this was a really good show. Um, I I would like to just I guess empathize with Shaheed, because I've also been on that divorce route. It's not fun.
It's not
You know,
fun.
everybody have their own experiences,
Mm-hmm.
but and their healing to do. I was a complete mess in 2019.
Mm.
But I took a personal decision. I said, no man or woman, I will not allow any man or woman, born of a man or woman, to
Mm.
steal my joy, right?
Mm.
And I
Mm.
told I told myself I will not allow it to steal my joy, and I will
Mm.
learn from my experiences, and I'll learn to be a better person, and to
Mm-hmm.
even do it better the next time around. He's
Yeah.
still going through his hurt. I heard him say that he wouldn't he's not one of those people that like to read books. I would really, really, really encourage him to, because like when we read we acquire knowledge, we add and subtract, and
Mm-hmm.
fit it the way it would work for us. But I would highly
Right.
recommend you, Shay. I hope you hear me later. I would really highly
Mm-hmm.
recommend you to um check out Ola's book. Why would I say that? There's so many gems that you learn from that. There's so many tools that you pick from that. Because that is you said something about I like practicality. I don't like just books. That is actually
Mm-hmm.
practicality. That is actually
Yep. It's
their
the
own
stories. It's
experience.
my
That's
stories. It's all of our
their
stories. Yep.
first 9 years in their marriage, which they almost completely kaputted, almost fell apart. But
Mm-hmm.
they decided to do the work. They decided to just bring everything to the drawing board, um, do their homework. Everybody did their own individual work, and they also did their work together. And they dis- and decided on a brand new marriage, and they
Brand new
learned
marriage.
some of those things in the past, where it was the lessons that that are not repeated. Or let's say if one way or the other, we're human beings, we're complex. Let's say something rears its ugly head because we're a human being. I guess you kind of catch yourself like, oh, X,
Mm-hmm.
Y, Z. So I really, really highly would recommend you. Trust me, you would see why I recommend you to check it out, because even if you at the moment you don't, never say never, like Ola said before, but even
Mm-hmm.
if you at the moment you're not in that headspace for marriage, um, even if you just
Yeah, it
decide to
doesn't.
just
It doesn't even matter. Your shadow is
right,
your shadow. You can stay
even if you
unmarried. It will follow you everywhere.
exactly,
You
even
still
if
have
you
to deal with
decide
people.
not to be married and you're still in relationship,
Yeah.
with women and stuff like that, there's things that it would help you, and
Yep.
and also all of us as human beings, we all have our healing. There are certain things about us that we need to work on, and there are certain things about us that hurt. Like we don't even know. There are ways that hurt might rear its ugly head when
Mm-hmm.
when we haven't healed, when we haven't addressed it. And I do appreciate that you did mention that you were also like working with a therapist, just
Mm-hmm.
I was,
That's a
I
big deal.
I really enjoyed that man to man conversation you had with Ola. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we were all gushing, like we so much enjoyed that. And I feel like you're someone that, even though you, because of your experiences, there are certain things that you're standing your ground on. I also feel like if you continue with this program, if you continue to listen, there's some things that you might start to sit back and just kind of like do a self evaluation and pick some things up, like, maybe I didn't do this one right, right. Maybe I could have done this better, et cetera, et
Mm-hmm.
cetera. And to be honest, there are situations whereby, you actually, to the best of your ability, you did your very best, and
Mm-hmm.
what you got from it was peanuts, and it hurts. It hurts when
Mm.
you really truly love that person, when you truly was just doing everything, pouring into it, because that's actually what you believed in.
Mm.
And then, but rather that other person maybe took advantage of it, or didn't value you as a person, because both men and women, there are times when men pour everything, the woman doesn't see their value and things go left, or when the woman is pouring everything and the man doesn't see the value and things also go left.
Right.
So, just I just feel like, just take it easy and just keep keep on that healing journey. But I still recommend that you check out Ola's book. All right. The other thing I would like to say is,
Mm-hmm.
so many triggering things that Ekene was saying. I mean, it's very clear to me that, he's really headstrong, just to be coconut head. Not, there's some people that they're just headstrong on something, even when that thing makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll still be headstrong on it. Like this show this afternoon. I like how Dick came and said, you know what? Hearing this thing that this woman and all this evidence out there, no, Organo do well. But there's some
Mm-hmm.
people that will still, some people like Ekene will still say something, you know,
Yeah.
in regards to maybe that woman might have done this or that. But anyway, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, we still don't know the full story. But I mean, from what the woman said, we can pick from from some of the things that in between the line that we read. But anyway, it just seems that Ekene does not have value, see any value in women.
Mm.
He doesn't see the value in women. Like he said, oh, why should I do this? Why should I pet her? Why should I do this? Dude, you're missing it. Unless if you're marrying a devil, a Jezebel, any woman that you pet or do like this, the way she will lick your feet,
Mm.
she will lick your feet up and down. There is no way that
Yeah.
you're with. That doesn't mean that there's some wenches out there, wench,
Winch. Mm-hmm.
wench to the 10th power that are out there, and no matter what you do, they cannot be pleased. But
Yeah. Same thing.
a lot of our Nigerian women who
Mm.
want marriage so bad, who they carry marriage for head,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way that you would, like a lot of them, there's no way that love them, be nice to them, work with them. There's no way they will not do everything for you. No
Yeah.
way. So I don't
It's
know who she's
literally
dealing with.
impossible.
It's
But when you've
impossible.
gone through certain experiences, I can see why you think the opposite end of
And
impossible or
that's how
possible.
all Nigerian women are. And then you said they're
Mm-hmm.
least desirable. First of
Yes.
all,
Yes.
when you say you have to understand that Nigerian women love to be with their men. So it's not like they're least. Trust me, a lot of all types of people, white, black, different cultures,
Mm.
want to be with Nigerian women.
Yeah.
But it's just that they find out that Nigerian women like to stick to their own, and that their own that they like to stick to will turn around and call them less desirable.
Mm-hmm.
So just because their men are more open to dating outside, and yeah, the other people like love them, doesn't mean that Nigerian women are less desirable. That is very, very disrespectful. So I don't know what his experiences were.
The only
You
struggle I
know,
have with that, such I hear these statements all the time because I do pay attention to where they are cooking this type of talking points. Because of our kids, I know they will be once they say it, if it relates with their pain, they will continue to repeat it. So I need to tackle them. So I need to keep listening to them. So I hear
right?
these talking points all the time. The only struggle I have with that is like, kin purpose. If you're a man of purpose, and you're moving with purpose. Can you please, is there a way you can help me understand the purpose of that statement, right? Then also, what are your expectations around the response you will get to that statement?
I mean,
Is
it really,
this
really. Mm,
like
sorry.
is it is this the manipulative controlling thing all over? Are we trying to shame women to behave?
To
I'm
train them to
like, there's a
be silent.
disconnect for me with what would be the purpose of making such a statement, or is it purely coming out of emotions? Because this is also this man also tends to never want to admit that they are caught up in their emotions. It's just all logic. So
And
it's just
another thing is that, it's like, I really feel like there's something going on, right?
mhm.
There's a reason why women some now they say I know do again. Like I feel like our men should be a little bit more open minded and start paying attention, because even if she said I know do again and you get another one, and
Mhm.
you're doing the same rubbish to that other one, and that
Mhm.
one decides to say I know do again, like just like Ekene said, oh, there's some men back then that divorced 3 times.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're divorcing. Like, so in this day and age, we all as human beings, both men and women, should
Mhm.
should desire to be better human beings.
That's
Because
it.
when we're better human beings, we
That's
function
what all of
better.
this is about. I don't really care about
Function
marriage
better.
like
We
that.
shouldn't be. It shouldn't be about battle of the sexes. Like Film Girl, my girl keeps like I so much enjoyed Film Girls and Natu's contributions. Film Girl was like, and it just really surprised me after everything Film Girl was saying. Again, it was still,
Mhm.
about nothing some of the points. Film Girl is just saying
Yeah.
we need one another. Let's not be wasmosing. It's not a competition. Let's just understand each other better. When we're with one another, we come from different backgrounds. Even when you're with your siblings from the same mother and the same father, the same DNA flowing through your body, there's still we still don't agree on things, because as
Yeah.
human beings, as complex as we are, there we have different lines of thought, even though we come from different backgrounds.
Yeah. So those are again, in real time. I always say in real time you can see this thing playing out. We don't have to go into your marriage. We can just see the way we conduct ourselves in many of this conversation. Um,
Let's not
we're
be
all human
so
beings.
hard and stick to tradition. Yes, there's some
Yeah.
traditions definitely that we should value and we should keep, because that makes
Hmm.
us who we are as a people. But there are also some tradition that needs to be modified. Modification is the same thing as evolving, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
When you
You
modify
don't have a
something,
choice
you
anyway. It's
evolve.
not like you have a choice.
So sometimes I don't know say if not English, if this Englishing is not Englishing well,
No, it's a
you
mindset.
know,
It's a mindset
like
thing. It's a mindset
like
thing.
evolving is
Yeah.
modification. And
Yeah.
then also, that word control, man, it's just
Hmm.
horrible. It's not animals
Tell
that you're
me, why is it
on your
horrible?
leash.
Tell me, why is it horrible?
The reason why it's horrible is because as individuals, we all have a mind. God all created us, this individual here. God
Hmm.
have deposited so many things in you as a
Hmm.
man. God deposited so many things in you as a woman.
Hmm.
So if you are trying to control the other person, whereby you're always trying to um you just only want them to listen to what you have to say, you don't
Hmm.
want to listen to what they have to say or
Hmm.
anything, it's not going to work, because you guys will continue to clash. You guys cannot work in harmony. Or even if that person allowed themselves to be quote unquote controlled, one day
Hmm.
will get to the point where it's like I know do again.
Hmm.
I know
Can
go,
you give me one example of, maybe, I don't know, if you can. If you can't, that's fine, because we will continue the conversation anyway. Can you give me one example of what that looks like in real life? A controlling man. Can you give me like an
in
example?
real life, for example, if the a controlling man could be someone who will not allow his wife to interact with other people, because he's afraid that, oh, they will control,
Oh.
they would um teach her bad things, like very soon, before you know it, they won't want to be married again, because they want they will start wanting this and want this. So they feel like if you start interacting with other people, you
Mm-hmm.
might start gaining more knowledge, you might start understanding the society more, you might start tapping into as a human being, the power that you might have as a person. Because all of us should have one kind of power or the other, but we just have to know how to
Yeah,
work with it,
as you were
empowerment and
saying that,
understanding.
right? As you were saying that, what keeps coming to mind for me is fear. Is this it's a
Yeah,
fear
fear.
based strategy.
Fear.
It's no wonder why it doesn't
Oh,
work
I can't
because
have control over this. I don't have control
yeah,
over this. It shouldn't be control.
yeah.
If we
Like
evolve,
why do you want to control? Because they will influence her negatively because they said on YouTube that women of Japa they tell each other bad ideas and they will control and they will and before you know it they will try to leave their marriage.
they'll come and scatter
All
your
fear
marriage.
based,
No, no,
all
no,
fear
no.
based, right? Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Now, am I saying that every woman is good? No. That I'll be
No, of
lying
course
through my
not.
butt. Or every man is bad. No.
Well,
But let's just
if
be
that's what
honest.
anybody heard in this conversation, I'm so sorry.
You know,
We're
like
deep.
after all this, I just couldn't believe that after all
Yeah,
these things that was said, that was the last words that Ekene said.
yeah,
That was why Bio was like, he can never change. But
yeah.
I just feel like as human beings, we should keep open minds. That's how we grow as
Mm-hmm.
individuals
Yeah,
because we can
yeah.
never know it all. That was the other thing the first thing I
You
said.
got to keep an open mind. You
Right,
have to.
and this whole thing about leadership, I
Mm-hmm.
think, Shay might, I guess maybe from his experience from what happened, where
Mm-hmm.
maybe he was also involving his spouse. This is what I was reading into it, where he was
Mm-hmm.
probably involving his spouse in this manner that we're talking. Maybe it was a type of person where it didn't work out for him. Maybe there are some loopholes or some things that maybe he didn't know how to work with.
Mm-hmm.
So that other person might did not cooperate, or so that's why he maybe feels like, you know what, next time I'm
Mm-hmm.
just gonna stand my ground and just be the man, whether you want it or not. If you don't want this way, then bye bye. No,
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that. So it's
yeah,
just a matter of maybe sometimes we don't really take out time to heal ourselves and take out time to get to
yeah,
know that, when you have those tools, then you'll be able to work with, the person and know, okay, this person is not good for me.
mm-hmm.
Let me not be married to this person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's also important. Also, since he's also a Christian like I am, it
Mm-hmm.
will be also important to also involve God's counsel,
Yeah.
because we are complex.
Mm-hmm.
We can't really tell everything about the other person because that other person is still
Yeah, they're
evolving as
gonna
a
have to
human
be
being.
vulnerable and tell a lot, and you
And
have to pay
also,
me for me to be that patient.
right, and also if
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also because we all evolve as people, if we have the tools, and let's say that person has evolved and became a different person, those tools will kind of help us to still be able to make it work, you
Right.
know.
Right.
But so that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Chinye. You know you're welcome here anytime. Don't be
Thank
a stranger.
you.
I will try to. We'll have conversation behind the scenes. Maybe we will set a particular day of the week where it's all pull up and something like this, so I can also get some juice in. Because now I have like about 50 topics that came out of this today, alone. But thank you,
Yo.
Chinye. I'm telling you.
No
In
problem.
fact, before we leave, I will tell you all of them right now. All right. Talk soon.
Uh-oh.
All right. Chinye, hold on. Chinye, you still there? Chinye, you still there?
Yes.
You and Natu, do me a
Yes,
favor.
yes.
Do me a favor. Because I know you got the book, you read the book, you got the audio book, and anyone else who will get the book, the PDF is free. But obviously, if you want the physical version of it, you have to obviously pay for it. There's the book right here. You can get the physical just like this in your house if that's what you want. In fact, I recommend that everybody get it. But I understand that if you're trying to work on yourself and you're with a partner, you don't want them to see what you're reading because you don't want to tamper with the process. So I understand that. But do me a favor, go to Amazon and Audible and make sure you leave a review. Thank you. If you do that, that would be awesome. Leave a review on Amazon because this is how they rise it to the top of the rankings. All right. So that's for you and Natu and anybody else who will get the books through Amazon or audible.com. I appreciate you. But remember, the PDF you have access instantly is free. You can download that. You can read that on your phone. if that's what you want. If you don't already have audible.com, I recommend that you get Audible. You should be reading. Okay, Sheyi, you should be reading. The reading is not so you can turn it to religion and exact carbon copy formulas. That's not the purpose. It helps you expand the way you think. You know, it looks like you exited by mistake or something, right? Chinye, you came back. Okay, I can't hear you. You're muted, just so you know. Okay. All right, let's call it a day. All right, so if you can do that for me. But before we leave, okay, I'm gonna play it one time for you, okay? Film Girl, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm gonna play one for you, maybe two, okay? Kathy, thank you so much for the $5, $5.50 dollar. Thank you, brother Bio, for the $20. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. T Love just gave another $7. Thank you for that. Let me see. What's happening? You have having connection issue. Okay, I got you. No problem. Chinye, thank you so much. And then Wrench Turner, please go support Wrench. He's a content creator. Wrench Turner, $10. Thank you. We appreciate that. I appreciate all of the super chats. I'm gonna play this. And then I'm going to give you my last word because we went way over time and it's all Natu's fault. All of Natu's fault. She's the one that told me to drop the link. I was going to drop the link though, you know. But thank you. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to fly through this. They're just going to have to be different topics. I don't know. Maybe I might come back tomorrow and do a full-blown elaborate session on it. I can't, okay? But I'm going to paste them. They are basically part of the point of contention that came up earlier throughout the show. I'll say what I feel about it in like one sentence or two, and I'll fly through the next one. Women are manipulative. It depends on what context. We need context. When you say these kind of things, you need to apply context. And if you're a man and you're saying this kind of things, make sure you're saying it in a barber shop, saying it to your brothers, so we can rub minds together. If you're saying it in the presence of women, you're never going to get to the point. Because I know there's a point you're trying to make, and you're never going to get to the point. But also, I can also tell that you're trying to use to shame women into submission. It doesn't work. Submission is earned. Respect is earned. Okay, and I know when I say that, it triggers you, makes you feel like, wait, so I didn't do good enough work. Listen, it's real life, it's real work, it's your skill set. You're a man, you're a grown man. Sometimes what you did, no matter how good of a man you were, is just not enough. It just wasn't enough. That's the reality. Nothing is guaranteed. You keep playing the game. Failure is not final. You will win. You will win, okay? But if you make it an absolute, I'm going to have to be forced to tell you that we're all manipulative. Well, we all have controlling behavior. We're all trying to sell something. And oftentimes when we don't have the right skill set, what do? We try to manipulate people into submission, to submit to our way of thinking. And clearly it's not working. At least it's not working in the family setting, right? So it's time, when we're confused, it's time to learn something new. We need to go back. We can't go back. I don't what do I do about this one right now? It's literally unrealistic. We can never go back again. Okay? What do you want me to tell you now? Right? Kilama Bayi, who go help me tell these people Bayi? We are never going back, Sheyi. Please. How am I gonna drive this point home? And staying away from marriage is not gonna help either, because you're gonna have to deal with human beings. You're still dealing with side chicks. Women, after according to you, women are the same, right? You're going to get caught up in your emotions when you're dealing with the person you like, regardless if you do the paperwork or not, right? Remember, you're a lover boy. I told you that. You didn't argue that, right? This is not just about Shay. It's all the lover boys listening to this. Ekene is a lover boy too, okay? There's no non-lover boy that's not engaged. That's engaged in this conversation. You are engaged in this conversation because you want women to fall in love with you, but the strategy is not working. Could work, right? Okay, so we need to go back. We're never going back. Okay, we're never going back. It's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. Okay, so we need to come up. What we need to do is come up with something else. We need to come up with a different solution. But we will continue the conversation. What does it? What leaving her alone means? When you leave her alone, like just leave her alone, do we mean that? Because by the end of the conversation, it seems to me that I was accurate. You didn't mean that. Because if you meant that, you would just leave her alone. Just as simple as that. Okay? So let's acknowledge, like, okay, we would like the idea of being able to leave women alone, but it's not working. We're struggling. We're not talking about the divorce. We're not talking about the fact that you exited the marriage. We're talking about the idea of men going their own way is a facade. Okay, God forbid your daughter end up with these people in a corner again. I'm not shaming them. It's just it's congee on a steroid. Pro Max congee is bad. It's a bad idea. We don't want angry men in our society. It doesn't work. Just imagine a society of angry men with congee Pro Max. It's not a good idea. It's a bad idea. Stop encouraging it. It's not realistic either. Okay, and especially if you're very passionate about the topic, something is given. It's given. We need to continue the conversation. Okay, there is a solution. It's a process. There is a rage. You can see it. It's called red pill rage, actually. Okay, and it is a process, and I have patience for it because honestly I do. Okay, it's a rage. You have to go through it, but I promise you, it's sweet on the other side. It's sweet on the other side. But the best position for negotiation is to be willing to leave and mean it. To be able to leave her alone, let go and mean it. You have to mean that. That means your action has to demonstrate it. It's not just saying it. Okay, just saying it is not good enough. Your actions has to demonstrate this. Okay, the same thing goes for all the women that are leaving men alone, but you end up in Kerewa in the bed with them, and then you're having kids with them, and then you're still angry. You're angry. You have to mean it. Okay? If you don't mean it, then let's assess it, because the truth is that some people, you don't want to learn from them because you believe there's no formulas. Some people figured it out. They weren't just lucky. They're lucky, but they're not just lucky. They figured something out. Okay? There's a whole 200 pages right there. It's just for the sake of criticizing me, just go read it. It's free. Okay? Partnership and leadership. They're not mutually exclusive. Okay, if you're having a hard time accepting partnership, you're probably a very terrible leader. Listen to me carefully. If you're having a hard time comprehending the idea of partnership in a marriage, you're probably a terrible leader. Okay, ruler, even on paper, military ruler, that's what we're talking about. It's completely different from a democratic leader. At least you have to pretend to be a bala blue. At least you have to pretend. At the very minimum, you have to understand that the public need to hear a certain type of thing, right? In order to create the result you're looking for. Even Eve collected today. Eve is manipulative. Eve was the one that gave us the fruit. We can't deny this one. Okay? We can't deny this one. Okay? I'm sorry. All right. We need context. Please stop generalizing with all this stupid stuff. This Eve, Colette, Delilah, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, man, it's time to figure something out. We need to figure something out. And for all the people that say it's just women that are here, listen, we had quite a few gentlemen on this stage today, and we had a good conversation. At the end of it, we still had a good conversation. The conversation continues, but we will continue to rub minds together to make it work. A woman who can stay under command. This one is going to be a fantastic YouTube. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to I need somebody to help me define command. What do we mean by command? Is that the same thing as control? What does that look like in real life example? Can we have some kind of I don't know, illustration of what this look like in real life? Okay. Command. All right. I'm just going to leave that alone, okay? Because honestly, my brothers, if this was barbershop, it would be easier to have this conversation. But the ladies are listening. But it's even better that they are listening, because there's a good chance you are taking this back to your relationship and you said command and she's like, what? She didn't even know what was triggering her, but she's like, she just knew something was wrong. And then you try to do Kerewa tonight, and she's like, she won't say it in those exact words. She just like, leave me alone. And you don't, and because after all, you were just trying to control your household. Control, a positive word. But somehow you're disconnected from why is she doing this? She's weaponizing Kerewa. She's weaponizing sex. I feel your pain because you completely forgot what you said earlier. Oh, you didn't say it. You're not that dumb. But it shows up in your energy. We have incredible radar for bullshit. We can sniff. We can all of us, we know when something doesn't feel right. Sometimes we're not able to spell it out in words, right? So the biggest variable in all of this is emotions. Okay? It has nothing to do with your intentions. Your intentions were great. You're just trying to protect your family. That's all you were trying to do. But now you're just receiving left and right. It's just not.
Sorry.
I feel your pain. I know. But it's time to learn something new. This is not the time to disengage from learning. This is the wrong timing. And again, avoiding marriage is not going to help you. It's your shadow. It follows you everywhere you go. There's a big old light beaming on you all the time. Every time you try to run, there you are again. It doesn't matter if you sign paper marriage again. It doesn't matter. Okay? It will follow you. It's you problem. And the problem is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? But if you don't own it, it will get worse. Okay? When a woman says we're not compatible, that came up. I think it was Adebusola. Was it Adebusola or Film Girl? Stop overreacting to this, gentleman. Okay? I bet he overreacted and she couldn't wait to run as far away from him as possible. Tell the whole, we're not compatible. Kilo mean, what am I going to tell the village? You're overreacting. Now she wants to run even further away. Now she wants to run. You need to understand attraction. Attraction is not 1 + 1 = 2. The way you're still calculating this is math. Okay? You want to become Uncle Bobby. Uncle Bobby go teach us math today. Quantitative reasoning. It's not going to work. You're still thinking of this as math. It's not going to work. Attraction doesn't work that way. Okay? The mind doesn't have the power of focusing on I don't want that. That's your intentions. It doesn't have the mind. If you are brutally honest, the mind focuses on the brutality. The honesty one you keep in your pocket, you collect. Okay, this is the reality. These are the things you're not paying attention to. It's going to take practice. It's going to keep coming around. You have to hear it over and over. I told Shay 2 days ago, I said, listen, I know we had a good conversation and this is not the end of it. It's not possible. I can't change your mind on one day. And today demonstrated that it's going to be a process. But I promise you the other side is good, bro. Life is so sweet. Okay. Women are sweet too when you get it right. Do I need to tell you that? I don't need to tell you that, obviously. This is why you're so passionate about this topic, right? Because you did your best. And your best simply wasn't good enough. That is not a crime. That's not necessarily your fault. We don't have to bring fault and blame into it. But it's a matter of skills, game, competency. We need to make that okay. Because after all, we're supposed to be improving ourselves on a regular basis, right? We need to be finding good examples. Is there a guarantee of success in marriage? No. That's part of the skills you're going to learn. Stop putting marriage on this pedestal. It will fall all the time. The marriage is a function of the people in it. Okay? It's not marriage's fault. It's that. Stop blaming marriage. Stop blaming the institution. It's not marriage's fault. It's not a matter of fault. It's a matter of competency. We are in a new age. There's an active. What's the word I'm looking for? Evolution, devolution, whatever you want to call it. That's going on. Something is moving. Something is shaking. And you're a casualty. Okay, I'll give you that. You're a casualty. All right. Now, do you want to continue, perpetuate it, and continue to blame everything else? Your children will collect. We can do something about it. There's a level of understanding we need to ascend to, and that's what that's the conversation we're having. Okay, that's the conversation we're having. Women have not figured it out. No, what they're doing is they're running away. That part, that's the part they figured out, how to run away. No, women absolutely have not figured this out. Are you kidding me? No, they haven't. Too far. But Whose responsibility is to figure it out? It's going to be whoever chooses to lead. If women want to lead, they need to figure it out. If the men want to lead, they need to figure it out. It's not a matter of, oh, men should always lead. No, as an individual, if you want to fix this, if you want to find this, then you need to figure it out. Okay? I think because of our social construct, it's better for men to figure this out. Okay? Because it's better for men to figure this out. If men don't figure this out, women trying to figure this out is not sustainable. It's just not. It's just not. Okay? It's not. Anyway, should men be allowed to lead? No, absolutely not. If you have to be allowed to lead, you're not a leader. Could it work? Lie. It can never work for you. Okay? I don't care. Remember, it's your personal problem. It follows you everywhere you go. If you need to be allowed to lead in order to lead, it will never work for you. I guarantee you. If you need her to be feminine before you can lead, you will never be a leader. I'm sorry. If you need her to submit before you can lead, it will never happen for you. I guarantee you. In fact, if you're in a situation and it seems like she's submissive right now, well, it's a matter of time. Time will tell. Okay? It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Okay? Those things are earned. Eventually, we have to be earned. Even if they give it to you firsthand on the first day of marriage, she thought she's submitting, but she doesn't know how your pata smell yet. Once she figures out how that pata smell, you're going to have to earn all of it. You're gonna have to earn every single ounce. Yeah, you will be tested. You will end up in the poro. Okay, your leadership skills will end up in the poto. Is going to happen. Okay. She's going to lose respect for you. It's going to happen, and you're gonna have to earn every ounce of those respect back. But that's not a bad thing, bro. You get to take full credit for it. Right? You get to take the full credit. You don't have to come out and say, oh, my woman allowed me to lead. That's why I'm a leader now. It just sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. It doesn't sound like a man. I'm sorry. Your woman have to allow you to lead before you could lead. It sounds terrible, bro. No. Men should not be allowed to lead. They need to figure it out. Even if you have a coconut head woman in your house, figure it out. Okay, the answer could be leave. That could be your way of leading. You have to learn how to lead yourself first. Lead yourself out of the situation. But it doesn't have to be a permanent decision. Okay, but when you are leaving, make sure you mean it. Because if you can still tell that you're angry, it didn't work. Could work. It did not work. You would move it to your next relationship, and that next person will feel it. And that's not fair to you and that new person. So we need to sort that out. It's not good enough just to leave. You need to leave and mean it. You need to leave and heal. Okay? And then meaning healing, you're having a hard time blaming the other side for what happened. Like even if they were really, really guilty, you're having a hard time because you just can't see yourself putting too much energy in blaming the other side. That's the space you're looking for. You might not be there yet. It's going to take a minute. It's going to continue to hear the right thing, continue to feed your mind, your soul with real life example. You need new experiences. You need to replace that bad experience with new experiences. If you don't replace it, if you don't get out there and start practicing, like in terms of you are in control, you are a leader already, you're a king. If you don't do it, if you are looking for permission to do it, it's not going to work. Especially if you're looking to take us back to 1960, it's going to get worse. Okay? Give followers a sense of ownership. That's a tip for you. It doesn't mean they own it. You just give them, can you figure out how to get your followers to feel like they own it? That's what they were talking about, servant leadership. They also teach that in corporate world today. It's not just marriage. Right? Let them feel like they own it. Can you figure that part out? Right? Without doing too much talking. Without asking for permission. Right? Without feeling like you've lost your own ownership. Can you figure that out? We're talking emotions. This is not easy. Okay? This is easier said than done. I guarantee you. But practice makes perfect, or closer to perfect. You could try one step. Baby steps at a time, right? Start with every interaction. We don't have to get married ever again, but you're going to need this skill set. Give them a sense of ownership. Let them feel like they own it. This is their baby. It's your baby. If it's truly your baby, you shouldn't have to yell at the top of your lungs, it's your baby. But give them a sense of ownership. Let's carry this thing. It's ours. It's our own. Right? When people feel that, they can't wait. They feel like they are contributing. It's a basic human need. They feel like they are contributing to something. Right? And you never really had to ask for permission to lead. You're already effectively leading. Yes, that's going to test your patience. Sometimes it feels like it's not working yet. And then you snap back to your whatever your equilibrium is at that point, and then you say, you know what, let me continue. Like it's a struggle. It's a struggle. You stagger. It's tough work, but it's worth it. It's worth it because honestly, you can't avoid this. Okay. Does this have to involve DV? No. Actually, I think the worst of the worst situations are people that never lay their hands on their woman. They're actually the worst. Sorry, Shay. They're actually the worst. Because they hang on to this, I've never laid my hands on, and they are completely disconnected from other ways that they might have been abusive. Okay, we will all be abusive in relationship. Women, you are abusive. Okay, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. You need me to remind you. Okay, I'm not saying you should entertain it, but it will happen. Okay, you will get caught up in your emotions and you will use the wrong words. Right? These are the worst. They are the worst of them. It kills people slowly. It deletes people slowly. It's like a slow bye-bye, right? They're the worst, especially if you don't really see how you were wrong because you were trying to be a good person all the while. You believe in your heart that you were being a good person, right? These are the questions that you need to ask. How did I move in a way that I didn't really realize that it didn't work, but I couldn't, it's a blind spot. Without feeling like you're judging yourself. Because that one is not going to work either. It doesn't have to involve DV. Stop looking for DV. Stop looking for the day you lay your hands on her so that you can now declare, yes, you're right, I'm a bad man. No. It has nothing to do with that. You might be a good man and be the most manipulative, abusive person in the world. In fact, I'm starting to believe that these good men are some of the most manipulative and abusive people in the world. Because they really can't see. They can't see what we're talking about. They think it's about being a good guy. It's not. It's not relevant. Okay? It's about skills. It's about your skill set, game. That's what it comes down to, even inside of marriage. There are some things you don't know. And it's time to start to learn. And if you don't calm down and keep an open mind, obviously you'll never learn it. Because you shut down your mind, right? And by the way, you have to remain a student of it for the rest of your life. It makes things actually easier because then you don't assume you know everything already. You just keep an open mind. Maybe there's something else I can learn. Maybe, right? Control. We don't need to revisit that. Let's leave control alone for now. Let's control rest. In Jesus' name. Okay. She must be feminine. You have to earn that. She will precisely be, the more you say that, she will be more masculine. She doesn't control that. You are the one actually in control, but it's actually less of control because clearly you can't control. It's an influence. You're influencing her to become more masculine. The more you say that, the more she becomes masculine. Because why? Because now you put her on the defense. You're making her feel like she needs to defend herself. What do you mean I'm masculine? It's offensive. You become offensive. You call her animal. She becomes masculine. Congratulations to you. Clap for yourself. Okay. Is there a manual for marriage? Absolutely. This is how we disrespect marriage. It's the only institution we disrespect. There is manual. You're just probably close-minded, and that's okay. But just keep in mind that even if you avoid marriage, it's your shadow. It follows you everywhere you go. Okay? Animal, same thing. Congratulations, you created a few masculine women here today, and they were actually nice. Because they respect that this is man of prestige, so they respected the platform. If this was the other side, maybe you would have been blocked today. Okay. Please leave reviews on Amazon and Audible.com if you get this book. My story, my person, I can relate. I'm speaking from experience. I promise you. All of the above, including calling police on. Can you? Hey, there's nothing to hide here, bro. Okay, including calling police on. Okay. Including divorce. Yes, I am lucky enough to be married to the same person, but this is a completely brand new marriage. Okay, I just lucky to be the same person. Okay, I'm not just speaking out of my ass, I promise you. Okay, there's something that you're missing that you need to learn. All that traditional. What do you mean traditional? Right now we're in the middle of tradition. We have a tradition right now. What do you mean? Tradition bitibawo. I am a traditionalist, but 2023 tradition, sha. I have to respect the times we live in, the context we live in. You have to respect that. You don't have to agree with it. You have to respect it so you can learn how to navigate it. It's about learning how to navigate life. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about learning how to navigate life. Okay? Never getting married. Go need to more. It's your shadow. It follows you everywhere you go. Okay? That's part of the manipulating behavior we're talking about. It's not your fault. You don't see it coming. It comes from a blind spot. I'm never going to get... You're actively trying to manipulate us. You're selling us an idea. And it's actually yourself you need to sell it to. And it's not working because clearly you're not buying it. You're not buying it. You know, it's a disconnect from the demeanor, the conduct, and what you're saying. And I see that quite often in the streets of social media. People are saying things they don't mean because they're angry that they couldn't execute what it's all fantasy. You will never be able to avoid women. Okay? If you try to avoid women, you will have a daughter. Ugh, what are you talking about? And then maybe you can relate at that point. Why wait for that? Right? Why wait for that? It's too late. You're whining life away. Life is whining away. You're missing out on life, on love. Okay? And you're an awesome person. Man or woman, there's value in you. There's something about you that somebody will enjoy. But unfortunately, you might end up becoming your own enemy if you really think you're not as good as you think you are. You're never as good as you think you are. But guess what? You're never as bad as you think you are. You know, self-esteem, low self-esteem is a bastard. Right? It will tamper with it, to destroy everything. You question yourself, was I good enough? Even what I said today can make you start questioning yourself, was I good enough? Remember, you're not as bad as you think you are. There's something awesome about you. There's something really good about you that other people can benefit from. Maybe they are benefiting from it in your professional world, but somebody would like to benefit from that and receive from you and reciprocate in folds. But you're missing out because, again, all they are giving you is paycheck. They are paying you less than what you're worth at work. Literally. Okay? They're paying you less. So it's very important. I hope I didn't take too long after that. You know, I just wanted to make sure I touched some of the things that I heard today. This was a very good conversation. Trust me. Just trust me. If you were triggered, I'm sorry. Okay. But trust me, this was a very, very good conversation. You will see. Even Ekene has adjusted. Ekene is now saying, these women out of Nigeria. I heard him trying to sell Nigerian women to African Americans. Ekene, don't lie to me. You tried to sell Nigerian women to Americans because they were complaining about their own women. And then I think I came here and said, then me and Obi now said, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And Alan Obi from We Need Talk, he doesn't know what he's talking about. There are feminists everywhere for good reason too. So it's time to adjust. The manipulation is not going to work. It's not working. Let's look at the results. It's not working. And this is our problems. It's all of our problems because our children are involved. Okay, if you have a 19, 20, 21-year-old, I was here having a conversation with my 12-year-old yesterday. 12-year-old, my son. Tony was telling me that, you know, they don't treat men fairly in family court. Right? He's a big fan of TikTok. And I had to have a conversation to add some context to that. And why it's built that way. Who built it? Who built that system? Is it women? Right? Why did they build it that way? Why does it come off as they're not being fair to men? Right? What are the other different 2,000 other variables that goes into that? Let's start with women having kids and they can't stay consistent, congruent, have a congruent, consistency in work because they might want to have babies, right? Is that fair? Well, you might think it's fair. It's natural. Does the woman feel like that's fair? Are we still going to be playing the fairness game, or we need to learn how this works so that we can all win together? Okay? That's all I have. Let me not whine it beyond. You guys have said so much. I'm just gonna leave it at this point. Okay. Last, it was great to have Ekene on this live because it made me see what I needed to see about certain types of men. D Love, good to see you. I didn't know you were here. Oh, I think you were here in the beginning. Yeah. Now we're undesirable. This is what African American men in the black manosphere have been saying. These are talking points. Okay. I didn't know that we're going to try to carbon paste this to the Nigerian community. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Okay. Have you seen my wife? I'll be the mad. There's so many beautiful Nigerian women. What are you talking about exactly? What are we talking about exactly? Oh, that's an anecdotal. It's the exception. No, you sound weird still. Okay. Let's slow down on this terrible talking points. It doesn't help the conversation and it doesn't get you laid. That part. Okay. Oh no, but I only say it on panels. I don't really say it. No, you do. It shows up in your energy. It does show in your energy. Stop the cap. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. Adebusola. Thank you, everybody. Film girl. Thank you. This was an awesome conversation. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm going to take my wife out on the date tomorrow. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Should I do that? These are our children, though. We need to be tackling all the talk. We need to tackle them from all angles. We can't leave it alone. This conversation don't help them in any way. Yes, it does. It does. Binkwe, I promise you. I will sell you on that later on, Binkwe. This conversation is a big deal. We need, in fact, it's not. We need to be having these conversations. Okay, this is real life. Okay, on Daddy Free's platform, you would think it's all a joke. They would do basketballs. This is not joke. Okay, some of them are quiet enough. You would have married them for 3 years before you find out. Okay, and when they get put in the corner, then the insecurity rises to the top, and you're like, wait, what? Why are you talking like that? I feel like I've heard that somewhere before, about 4 years ago on up. We need to talk about this. Okay, but I'll tell you to brace yourself. You need to take time off or anything like that. You need to take it in doses. Do what you gotta do. But we need to be talking. Okay, there are real pain attached to what you heard that may have triggered you. Those are real experiences. Shout out to Shiye. She said that. Those are real experience attached to that. They're not absolute truth, obviously. They're not necessarily the truth, right? These are their experiences. It's their personal truth. We need to be acknowledging it and say, wow, that's crazy. To the point that it got you into this place. Yes, but let's have the conversation, okay? Let's have the conversation, okay? And just keep in mind that it's never about you. It's never about you, but these are about all of us. These conversations are going on. Okay, but you can always trust men of prestige. We'll find the balance, have the conversation. We don't want anything disrespectful. No one should be called an animal. I don't care if it's under the breath, under the tone. I am a cursor. I try to avoid cursing on this platform. I curse every now and then, but I want it. It's important that the message land. That's the most important part. It's not important enough for me to talk. It's not as important as that the message must land. The most important part is the message must land. Very, very important. Gentlemen, if you're listening to me, if you're a troll, I got time for you. Okay? In between these sessions, I got time for you.
Sorry.
Please coming back because we're sowing seeds. We know it to have an effect. You might even find yourself advising people very soon. How sweet would that be? Right? Like, what happened? What happened there? You sound like you're generalizing. Okay. But tell me the rest of the story. What happened? And what happened? You just have to be patient. They will tell you small. The rest of the story, they'll be telling you small, right? At least they will tell you enough to know that, this is coming from a real place, a real experience. And we need to continue to have some empathy for that. Okay? Understanding. That's all it takes. All right. Shout out to you all. Most people have lost internal locus of control these days. They seek, social media. Social media pretends to be the help. pretends to be he can solve my problem, you know. And you know, misery loves company, right? So, oh, you guys said I should, right? You know, let me tell you something. I don't know, she snuck into Auntie B's show the other day, and she heard me say, me too, I'll go and rub feet now, because they kept saying Brother Patrick rub feet. And she said, where's my feet rub? I was like, what's wrong with this one? Feet rub is about, let me smell your feet. But I did give her the feet rub, okay? But then she ended up saying, maybe I should go and learn from Brother Patrick. You see my life? No, I just needed some sensual oil, But shout out to you all. This is good stuff. This is really good stuff. Let's continue, okay? Let's continue to have the conversations. Today we did 3 hours and 45 minutes. We're just going to end it right here, okay? Thank you too so much. Go and have some time with your family. Go and spend some time with your children, your family. Go and love on them, okay? Don't worry about what they did before. Just give. Just focus on giving, okay? Focus on giving. Don't worry about give and take. Don't do that to yourself. I know those are the talking points you've been telling yourself. Okay? Yes, so I collect. Woto. It's my life. I'm done today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. And peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.